It's time for Sports 56 Middays with Greg Gaston and Eli Savoy. The first hour of Sports 56 Middays is brought to you by Action247.com. Now, here are your hosts, Greg Gaston and Eli Savoy.
I got a piece of land out in the countryside. Lay back and smell the sun. Warm up the Georgia pie. Feels so good to be taking it easy. Why would I ever leave? 'Cause I know I got some good.
All right, a little rain never hurt anybody. Okay, so what? It's raining. It's Friday, ladies and gentlemen. It's Friday. The weekend is just about upon us. And guess what? Tomorrow night, FedEx Forum is going to be rocking as the Grizzlies and the Jazz will play Game 3 of their playoff series. And we're here to talk about that and everything else in the world of sports. We welcome you in to Sports 56 Middays, the Friday, May 28th, 2021 edition. Greg Gaston, Eli Savoy, Gabe Kuhn. We are in the Family Leisure Studios where family and fun come together. Family Leisure, 2120 Whitten Road, just north of I-40. First hour of the program is brought to you always by Action 24/7. On the program today, Drew Hill's going to join us at 11:05. He was in Salt Lake City to cover the Grizzlies and the Jazz, and he is the Memphis Grizzlies beat writer for the Daily Memphian, and he will give us the latest on the series, but also talk about what happened during Game 2 to the parents of Ja Morant. 3 fans have been ejected, and I would assume indefinitely suspended from coming back to any other Jazz games. And we will get the latest on that. He has some good insight. Drew Hill at 11:05. Just fans behaving badly. What is it the last couple of days with the run of bad fans around the league? At 11:25, our friend Clay Helton, the head football coach of the USC Trojans, he will join us. He's got one of the top quarterbacks in the country, and big things expected from the Trojans in 2021. And then at 12:05, Randy Santel is going to join us. He, like Gabe Kuhn, is a native of St. Louis, Missouri. He's also a professional eater. How do you get that job? He is a professional eater, and he will be in Memphis tomorrow, along with 3 of his professional eating buddies, as they will take on the 25-pound Humunga Cucamonga Challenge, the big burger from Kooky Canuck. They will be downtown tomorrow at 3 o'clock. It's open to the public. They're going to try to break the record of 23 minutes and 13 seconds. You have 30 minutes to do so. It's a team competition, and he's looking for his 1,000th career food challenge win. We'll ask him why he does this, how he got into it. Randy Santel at 12:05. And then at 12:30, we'll play 10 in a row, the game show that has swept the nation, give you a chance to win a nice prize package. We'll wrap things up at the end of the third hour with one final thing. Then we'll hand things over to John Harden for Sports 56 Happy Hour, and we will get set for the sports weekend. Eli, how are you today?
I am good. I got a question for Gabe right off the bat, though. So, Gabe, do you believe you and 3 of your fellow offensive linemen from the University of Memphis could tackle that burger in an hour?
Not a chance. 0% chance.
Really?
Sorry to make it unfun, but no way. It's what, 25 pounds?
Yeah, 30 minutes you have, not even an hour.
No, there's no way. Sorry.
Really?
Sorry to let you do.
I thought
I was going to be confident about this?
I thought your answer
That is a lot of food, guys.
No, it's a lot of food, but
it's only like 6 pounds per person.
And not to mention, y'all will probably ask him later, but he has his ways of stretching out his stomach, Randy Santel, I'm sure, and they train for it year-round. I don't think me and 3 of my buddies from college could just step in there and do what those professionals do.
Well, we have seen some offensive linemen, and they have stretched out their stomachs as well. It's not in a good way, but we've seen the stomachs hanging over the belts pretty much, but doing their job on the offensive line. You don't think there's somebody on that team that can?
Who's the biggest eater of your offensive line?
It's got to be somebody.
I'd probably give that to Chris Roberson. Chris Roberson played left guard from 2014 to 2016. Big dude. He's about 6'8", 350 pounds. He could eat.
But you know what?
He's actually a policeman around the area.
Oh, really? There's probably the one dude, though, who was scat back or defensive back who can out-eat all the linemen. There's probably
it never shows. That's the issue, though, with them. I always got depressed because they could eat anything and it would never, ever show.
Yeah, so I wonder if you can get like the 3 top eaters from the university when you played there, and you.
Didn't you want me to take this challenge by myself at one
Not
point?
the
Smaller
20
one,
the
of course.
smaller one. I
The
did.
smaller one, of course. I'm not talking about that one, Greg.
In fact, Sean Danko was going to bring over the burger and let you do that, and you said no. You said no, thank you.
I don't think I said no.
You did.
Okay,
Or we would have,
jeez.
or we would have done it. I had to tell him no.
I guess I remember wrong. You remember correctly, Greg.
You definitely remember wrong because I asked you and you weren't sure.
You did.
And then you said you didn't want to do it. You didn't want to do it, and I understand. And look, that's fine if you don't want to do that thing. You don't want to be throwing up all over the studio. That would be bad. But the challenge is there for these guys tomorrow, and it's crazy. How do you cook a 25-pound burger? I mean, obviously you're taking little
fire.
sections and with fire, with confidence,
The way
with
you cook both-
creativity.
with heat, like you cook everything else.
25
A
pounds.
massive flat top somewhere or a grill.
It's or you're doing it in sections. I mean, how
wouldn't
big is
even-
your grill?
I mean,
It
when
wouldn't
I've
even fit in my big green egg. I don't think. I
No.
don't believe it would. It's probably bigger around than my big green egg.
Have you
That's pretty
seen?
close.
Have you seen the video or just a still photo of Sean holding up that thing?
Yes.
How big that darn thing is.
but it's
It looks
usually one.
fake.
It looks like one patty, though. It doesn't look like they cook it in sections. It looks like they
They
cook
weld
it at once.
together. They cook it in sections and weld it together.
Can you imagine like the food distributor he uses? You know, they come over and they drop off the food, and they got a couple of these 25-pound burgers. Just they got 2 guys carrying it into the restaurant. Oh my gosh! But anyway, Sean's going to join, or Randy's going to join us, I should say, at 12:05. But he'll be there tomorrow with Sean and of course the great folks at Kooky Canuck, the downtown location. They'll try this challenge at 3:00, and again, open to the public. If you're into those things, if you want to watch
Well,
somebody,
you could go down early for the Grizzlies game and swing over to Kooky Canuck, watch a bunch of eating, have a good time over there before you, and then hang around downtown for the game tomorrow night.
yes, it's good. It's a good thing because downtown will be rocking, and we haven't had this in a long time. There'll be a lot of people out there. I don't know if it'll be as crazy as we saw in New York the other night at Madison Square Garden after the game with the people outside of the Garden. My gosh, it's like sardines. But it's going to be a good crowd. I don't know if they'll fill the 55%. I hope they do. But I think whatever they have, people will be raucous. We have really, really good fans.
They have announced some entertainment that will be taking place for games 3 and 4. Game 3 tomorrow will feature a national anthem performance from Grammy-nominated Memphis recording group Southern Avenue. Halftime will feature a live performance from chart-topping Memphis rap phenom Young Dolph. So that's tomorrow.
Nice.
Game 4 on Monday will be a national anthem performance by rock and blues guitarist and Memphis native Eric Gales. And halftime will showcase a live performance from the FedEx Forum Plaza with Eric Gales and friends, including performances with Gary Going and the Memphis Grizzlies house band, and hip-hop duo 8 Ball and MJG, and more. And more.
Well, I like and more. They're terrific.
So tomorrow you got Southern Avenue and Young Dolph. I'm not familiar with either. I've heard of Young Dolph,
Yes.
but I'm not familiar with his. I couldn't tell you a song he sings.
Is
or anything
Southern
like that.
Avenue?
And on Southern Avenue, I've heard of them, but I don't know for sure exactly what kind of group they are.
Are they the young the women? Is that Southern Avenue? There's a pair of women that have performed before at Grizzlies games, and they are outstanding. But I don't know if that's Southern Avenue. I've been to Southern Avenue, but
I've been on Southern Avenue a lot.
yeah,
Driven Southern Avenue.
Greg,
a lot,
are you a Young Dolph fan?
I'm not familiar with Young Dolph's work, but Josh over there is flipping out. I don't know. I know of him.
I'm more of an old Dolph guy.
Yeah, I'm more old school. Old
I'm
school
more-
hip hop. and rap.
young-
I don't know
young-
the new
younger,
stuff as
The younger
much.
Dolph is not. He's just the older Dolph. It's like old Tom Morris and young Tom Morris. I kind of like old. I like old Dolph rather than young Dolph. It's just
Young Dolph, old Dolph.
just my taste in music. My taste in Dolphs is a little different. I just have a different taste in Dolphs.
Old Dolph was 46 when he won his last major, which again for a while there was a record until Julius Burrows came along, and then finally Phil Mickelson. All right, so the Jazz and the Grizzlies tomorrow, Game 3. But the news yesterday was the news that came out of Salt Lake City about 3 fans who have been banned from going to, I assume, any more games this season, and we'll see what happens in the long run. And I know people are, how do you ban them and all that stuff? But the bottom line is 3 people were thrown out of Game 2. And won't be allowed back. We know that there will be at least a Game 5 that'll be played in this series, possibly a Game 7 back in Salt Lake City as well. But Drew Hill had reported that according to his source, at least one Utah fan was ejected for making an offensive sexual comment directed at Ja's mother. And then we had Ja's father come out and say that there was a couple of fans that just went overboard. And he said, for the most part, we had a great time with the fans. We went back and forth. They bought me beers. But the people that were ejected, what they said, you talk about, and I don't need to repeat it because I'm sure people have read it, is so racial. And I don't know how anybody in their right mind can say something like that, think they're going to get away with it, and they didn't get away with it. And good for them. And I'm surprised they didn't get a punch to the jaw of what was said. So Drew's going to join us to talk about that because he flew back to Memphis. And Ja's parents were on the flight. So he had a chance to talk to them and get it from the horse's mouth on what exactly went down. But this is not the first time. Look, it's not like Salt Lake City is the only city, unfortunately, that has racists. But they do. And it's been well documented. And we talked about it yesterday with Russell Westbrook from years ago with that one fan. I don't know what it is out there. And they talk about the South being bad. My gosh, Salt Lake City. They're in their own little universe. But obviously, it's only a few. It's not the majority. And the majority of the fans, I'm sure, are fantastic. And like Ja's father said, too, that he had a great time with the fans that were around him, kind of egging on each other and just enjoying themselves. And, of course, you got to be a pretty proud dad and mom when your son goes out there and lights them up for 47.
It's so we had 3 NBA games Wednesday night, and at every game there were fans whose behavior has gotten them banned from arenas.
Mm-hmm.
People lost their minds.
I understand. We were discussing this yesterday. I can understand to a certain degree tempers flaring a little bit. People have been pent up frustration. They have been in their homes. They finally let loose. Alcohol plays a major part. And all of a sudden, you got a little pushing match going on. You got a Donnybrook. I'm not saying that's good. I'm not saying I condone that. And especially the situation with the Dodgers and Astros fans, where the Dodgers had the mother and father who got into a fight with other people and left their little girl there crying. And we saw that. We saw the photos and the video. But as far as pent-up frustration and racism, I mean, and we're talking about 2 different things altogether. Okay, you could be a little frustrated. Maybe somebody can get on your nerves a little bit. But to come out and say the things that fan said is absolutely ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous. And then, of course, the throwing the popcorn on Russell Westbrook. Who in their right mind believe they can do that? That they're allowed to go ahead and do that? That would be like, chucking something at a rock star who's performing at an arena, or doing something to somebody in Broadway out on the stage, and you throw something at them, or spitting on them like a fan did in New York at Madison Square Garden, directed towards Trae Young. I don't know what it is, but it's fans behaving badly, and I think we've seen enough in the last couple of days for the whole playoffs. Hopefully, there's no more incidents. Hopefully, there's no incidents in Memphis. I think for the most part, Memphis fans who are rowdy and fun are well-behaved. I don't recall incidents. There probably has been, but I don't recall them. So hopefully people are on their best behavior, but within reason will light into the Jazz because that's what the Grizzlies need is the support of their fan base. And I expect that fan base to be great on Saturday and again on Monday.
With the Jazz fan, it's amazing to me. I mean, it's just that they talk about. T said that the one guy who said the comment about the nickel in your back,
Right.
had his young daughter right there next to him. I'm like, hey, they start them young out there in Utah. Apparently, bring the kid to the game, make racist comments, teach that kid, get them started young.
John had some on Facebook said alcohol makes people do stupid things. Yeah, for the most part, but there are some people that are unfortunately inherently racist, and it may not even be the alcohol. So I don't know. I mean, I could sit here from afar. I don't know if it's alcohol that made him say that. But you're saying something like that. I don't know if it's the alcohol.
If you're saying stuff like that,
You're
doing
racist.
it right in front of your daughter, you may have alcohol in your system and it may loosen you up to say it, but you have it. You use that language regularly. Like that is something that is common for you. If you're just willing to say that right in front of your daughter, that is not something that like, oh man, I just got drunk and didn't know what I was saying. Like, you knew what you were saying. Like people do stupid stuff when they're drunk. I fall in that category. I've done stupid stuff when I'm drunk. Never had any yelled racist comments at somebody at a basketball game or tried to pour popcorn on a basketball player before. But, I've done some dumb things when I've been drunk.
Look, a lot of people have, but I've always known where I stand as a fan watching artists perform, whether it's an artist on a basketball court or on a football field or on a stage. I know my place, okay? I pay my money to go to concerts and games. I don't think that because I paid that money that I own these people.
I've never been like the fan who like yells at the opposing players. Like
Nor have I.
It's just not my thing. Like, and some people do it, and it's actually very entertaining, and they do it in a good way, and it becomes fun, and you can even get some back and forth with some players that makes it entertaining. I've just never been the type that wants to sit there and yell at the opposing player and all of that stuff. Just not my thing. But it's fine if you do it. If you don't do it in a dumb way that is
or vulgar way and all. Yeah, within reason. Yes, there's nothing wrong with booing and obviously giving. That's why you have home court advantages because of the fans. It's not a home court advantage if the fans are sitting on their hands and doing nothing. How does that intimidate the opposing team? There's no home court advantage. It's when the fans get riled up and get aggressive, but not in, again, a racist charged way or sexist charged way or anything like that. Within the boundaries of fandom, it gives your team an incredible home advantage. So that's what I expect to see on Saturday and on Monday. It did not work out last night in Miami for a home court advantage. It did not work out in Portland for a home court advantage. As last night in the NBA playoffs, the Bucks throttled the Heat 113-84, a 29-point win, and the Bucks are up 3-0 in that series, and that is just about over. About over.
Yeah, I mean, officially just about over, but it's over. After game one, I thought maybe it was going to be we'd get a really good series there, and maybe Miami was going to kind of look more like the Miami of last year in the playoffs, but these last two games have just not been close. They have been bad. Bucks have been really good. Drew Holiday has been very nice addition for the Bucks, and yeah, this is they look way better than Miami.
Well, it's a payback for last year in the bubble, and I know Drew Holiday has made the difference for Milwaukee. But how has Miami dropped off the way? I don't understand. Even during the regular season, they weren't that strong. It's basically the same team that went to the finals in the bubble, losing to the Lakers. What happened?
You
think it was just a lucky run?
Yeah, they just kind of caught lightning in a bottle last year in the bubble. I mean, I don't think they were that good but they put together a great run.
The Phoenix Suns and the LA Lakers, the scene shifted to Staples in LA, and the Lakers, after losing game one, they're back. 109-95. Anthony Davis came out and said, blame me for game one, and he's been really good the last two games. And the Suns, Devin Booker wasn't that good. Chris Paul wasn't that good. The Lakers now lead 2-1. And it's just unfortunate for Phoenix, the number 2 seed, second best record in the West, that the Lakers end up in a play-in, end up being the 7th seed, and they draw them in the first round.
Yeah, and the series ended soon as with the Chris Paul injury. I mean, he's not Chris Paul, and they can't beat the Lakers without Chris Paul being Chris Paul. It's really unfortunate because I do think if Paul's fully healthy, I think they had a very good chance of beating the Lakers. With this Chris Paul, they're not beating the Lakers.
Yeah, he's playing, mind you. He was in there last night, but he is not who he has been all season long. And then Denver and Portland had a fun game. And the unlikeliest of heroes, Austin Rivers, with a huge fourth quarter for Denver. He knocked home 4 of his 5 threes, I believe 4 of his 5 in the fourth quarter. And Denver wins at the Moda Center to take a 2-1 series lead over the Blazers.
Yeah, he was great. 16 points in the fourth. Jokic did his thing, 36 and 11. Lillard had 37, but he was only 5 of 16 from three-point range. McCollum didn't shoot the ball great, even though he had 22 points. Good game, but the Nuggets and Austin Rivers, who was sitting at home waiting for somebody to call for a month or two during the season, couldn't get a job, and here he is scoring 16 points in the fourth quarter of a first-round playoff game. All of a sudden, nice little addition for the Nuggets that they were able to just get him, and he's been pretty good for him.
Gosh, the Grizzlies can use him. Coming off the bench, knocking down threes.
They could have had him. All they'd do is make a phone call.
Absolutely. All right, we're just getting underway on this Friday edition of Middays. When we come back, love to hear from you, your thoughts on the 2 games coming up between the Grizz and the Jazz. The Grizzlies and Jazz will play Saturday and will play on Memorial Day, Monday night. What are your thoughts on the game, on the games and the series moving along, moving forward? 360-8255, First Bank phone lines, 360-8255. First Bank text line, 901-360-8255. Also, what do you think should happen to fans that behave the way they're behaving? Whether it's spitting or throwing things on players or racist remarks or sexist remarks, what can they, and can, even though they're banned indefinitely, can organizations, how do they keep them out of the arena? How can they do that? What kind of security measures are being taken? Also, we got plenty of football, college football news. The bowl schedule was released yesterday. We also know when the AutoZone Liberty Bowl game will be played and when the kickoff time is and the date as well. The Memphis Tigers announcing kickoff times for 7 of their games. We'll give you an update on the SEC and the American Conference baseball tournaments. A lot to get to. Drew Hill joins us at 11:05. This is Middays on Real Sports Talk, Sports 56, 96.1 and 98.5.
Start your day the right way with Peter Edmiston and Anthony Sane on Sports 56 Mornings. Weekdays from 7 to 10 on Sports 56, 98.5 FM and 96.1 FM.
Hi, folks. Good news from the Chevy Sheriff for truck buyers. It's Chevy Truck Month at the Sunrise Chevy Ranch. Rebates up to $7,500 and discounts high as $10,000. Bankrupt, bad credit, it's okay. Sunrise specializes in secondary financing. Need a good used truck? Remember, Sunrise Chevy specializes in used cars and trucks under $15,000. Chevy trucks cost less at the Sunrise Chevy Ranch, partner. Find new roads to 385 in Houston, Levy, and Collierville. Check out the all-new Sunrise Truck Corral. Huge selection of nothing but trucks. All makes, all models, all prices, all trucks, all the time. Next to Sunrise Wolf Chase.
Is your wife asking you to stop eating junk food? Well, we have you covered at Humdinger's. It's quick and it's healthy, and most important, it tastes amazing. With many choices from salmon salad to rainbow trout and grilled asparagus. Come visit us for lunch at Humdinger's, 6300 Poplar Avenue. So good, Coach Penny eats with us weekly. Don't forget, Humdinger's offers full-service catering for weddings, social events, or your corporate lunches. You can call 901-260-8292 to find out more.
All right, is that a Q2 or a Q3 expense?
Dwayne's CPA went MIA.
Nah.
To keep his books and his sanity, he needs to find a replacement ASAP.
Hey, Johnny, have you ever heard of a fungible good?
Indeed can help him hire the people he needs.
I need Indeed.
Indeed you do. When you sponsor a job, you immediately get your short list of quality candidates whose resumes on Indeed match your job criteria. Visit Indeed.com/credit and get $75 towards your first sponsored job. Terms and conditions apply.
Brian Elder's Roofing Solutions.
2021 is finally here. Might I suggest we start the wonderful new year with a makeover for your beautiful house. I'm Brian Elder. I'm a roofer. I fix roofs. Don't let them tell you that it has to be replaced when all it may need is some love. 867-0303. Let me love on your roof. I've made quite the reputation over the last decade as the guy to call after the insurance company denies the claim. Overturning a claim that has gone bad is an art form where you argue county code, manufacturer specs, and details of your policy that they have to abide by. So let me see it first. If I say it's a claim, it's a claim. 867-0303. Money is free at Brian Elder Roofing with 0% financing for half a decade. I'll measure your roof from outer space and get you a quote right over the phone. 867-0303 or BrianElderRoofing.com.
Call 867-0303. Brian Elder's Roofing Solutions.
Do you know one of the best things you can do for your employees or family's health? Provide Arctic Clear bottled water. Arctic Clear bottled water is your locally owned and operated bottled water provider. Arctic Clear is 100% natural spring water with free delivery and setup, dependable service, and no long-term contracts. What an easy choice. Call Jeff Manus today, 901-382-2363, or visit arctic-clear.com. Arctic Clear bottled water. Call now, 382-2363. That's 382-2363.
Now, back to Sports 56 Middays. This hour is brought to you by Action247.com. Here once again are Greg Gaston and Eli Savoy.
Working part-time in a 5 and dime. My boss was Mr. McGee.
We welcome you back to Sports 56 Middays. Programming note for you. When we wrap up things at 1 o'clock, of course, John Harden takes over, but 96.1 will have the Ole Miss pregame, and then, of course, the game today. Fourth-round action at the SEC baseball tournament in Hoover, Alabama. It's Ole Miss and Vanderbilt, and that's an elimination game. The Rebels a 5 seed, the Commodores a 4 seed. The loser goes home. Also, the other game today that's being played, an elimination game that's already underway. Alabama leads Tennessee 2-0. They're in the bottom of the second inning, Tennessee batting. Arkansas and Florida still undefeated, moving on in the double elimination tournament.
Yeah, and these games were supposed to be tonight, but because of some rain in the forecast for tonight, they moved them up. Playing the earlier games today to make sure they can get them in without any issues. These both are rematches of games that already took place in the tournament early on. Vanderbilt beat Ole Miss, and Alabama had already beaten Tennessee. So for Ole Miss, too, I would assume Vanderbilt's going to go with Jack Leiter. So that's going to be a difficult task that all of a sudden here it's Vanderbilt gets to throw you throw Kumar Rocker out there against the number one team in the country. They lose. All right, that's fine. We got Jack Leiter to come back with an elimination game.
Yeah, their staff's unbelievable. Al's kid is really good, and Rocker, we know what he can do. Speaking of rematches, the American Conference Tournament continues in Clearwater, Florida. The Memphis Tigers facing an elimination game today as they will go at it at 1 o'clock versus East Carolina again. The team they won by the 10-run rule. They beat by the 10-run rule, I should say, the other day. And then the Tigers got slaughtered yesterday by UCF, 17-1. That game was called in the 7th because of the 10-run rule. But the Tigers, they have to have lightning strike twice to continue an unlikely run in the conference tournament. And I say unlikely because the Tigers did finish dead last in the regular season. But to beat East Carolina once was amazing. To beat them twice, I can't fathom it. But that's why they play the game, and they'll go at it at 1 o'clock this afternoon. Yesterday, again, UCF over Memphis, and USF beat Tulane 5-0. So the Florida schools right now are in a pretty good position in the American Conference. The 1 and 2 seeds are East Carolina and Tulane, and they each now have a loss. All right, so let's get back to the Grizzlies and the NBA playoffs. Again, if you want to be a part of the show, You can text in on the First Bank text line 901-360-8255. And, of course, it's 360-8255. Same number to call in on the First Bank phone line if you want to talk about the Grizzlies. So, obviously, the Grizzlies got to get one of these two. They lose both these games at home. It's 3-1. They're down. They go back to Salt Lake City. It's over. But if they split, it comes down to a best 2 of 3, and that's going to be a lot of fun. Do you think it's pivotal, Eli, that the Grizzlies win the first game? Now, if you could tell me they're going to automatically win Monday, fine. But if you lose Saturday, a little more pressure. In fact, a lot more pressure to win Monday. So how important do you think the game tomorrow night is?
Yeah, I mean, it certainly makes it nice because then that if you win that game, that puts the pressure on Utah on Monday. If you lose the game, then you're going to be facing a ton of pressure on Monday, knowing you really have to win that because if the Grizzlies were to lose both of these games at home, then I believe the series probably wraps up in 5 back in Utah. So winning the earlier one certainly is better. It's not like it's life or death. You can still win the series even if you don't win the game tomorrow. Come back Monday and get it. It's going to be difficult, but you can. They've obviously shown they can win a game in Utah, and even when they were down by 20 to come back and get close, it showed again that they're very competitive with this team. But yeah, so it would be nice if they win tomorrow too. I think that makes Monday probably even more raucous crowd-wise because then people are really going to get that feeling like, oh, my, we could really win this series.
Yeah, and that's an interesting question because do Grizzlies fans right now feel like they can really win the series, or is it going to take one more win, like you said, tomorrow or Monday to legitimately feel like they're going to win the series? Yes, they want a game. But does anybody really believe they're going to win the series right now? I would say no. I would imagine you would say no as well, right?
Well, there's a difference between believing they are going to win the series or have a chance to win the series. I do believe they
have a chance.
They can win this series. Do I believe they will? No, they're probably not. I mean, they're a big underdog for a reason. But I believe they certainly have an opportunity. They have shown they're absolutely competitive with the Utah Jazz, and they absolutely could win this series.
Yeah, don't get me wrong. I agree with that. They absolutely have a chance to win the series. I'm just saying, do I really believe right now if I had to bet on the Grizzlies winning the series, I would say no. But if you win tomorrow, like you said, you got to feel darn good that you can win the series, not just a chance that you can win, because then you will have beaten Donovan Mitchell and the Jazz. Because game 1, you did not play Donovan Mitchell. And taking nothing away from what the Grizzlies did. But we saw the difference that Donovan Mitchell makes after that long absence to come back and play the way he played. But the defense is what has to get better. And they have to figure out a way to slow down the Jazz. They're not going to stop the Jazz from the outside. The Jazz stopped themselves. Look, the Grizzlies did a pretty good job on the perimeter in game 1, but the Jazz had open threes and they were clanking them. They were Super Mario bricks up there. But game 2, we saw what they did. That's more what they're able and capable of doing because they did it all season long. But if you can guard that perimeter a little bit better and that high pick and roll, man, oh, man, I don't know what you do, but that's something they're trying to figure out as they get ready for game 3 and 4. Okay.
Got a text here on the First Bank text line, 360-8255. 360-8255 is the First Bank text line and the First Bank phone line as well. So as Valanciunas has a good series, the Grizz should have no problem with the next 2 games. Ja alone isn't enough. Well, certainly they need Jonas to stay out of foul trouble if possible, because with Gobert, they just have to have a big body. they need Valanciunas because there's nobody else that they have that just is big enough to deal with Gobert, and even Derek Favors. That's the thing. Like the Jazz, one of the very rare teams that has 2 big old dudes in the middle. Like so, and Xavier Tillman and Jaren, they can't match them.
The texture's absolutely right. But JV hasn't had that type of game that we saw all season long through the first 2 games of the series because of foul trouble. And when you're going up against a huge guy like Gobert, not that JV's small, but there's the tendency to foul. And if he gets into foul trouble, yes, they could be in a lot of trouble. That's why I said yesterday when we had Evan Barnes on, I would not be opposed to dusting off Brandon Clark and bringing him in, just trying something different. And the guard support from the bench that they're not getting right now, from DeAnthony Melton and from Grayson Allen, Desmond Bane's done a pretty nice job. He's been solid. Look, all bets are off here. Even if if you're having problems defending Mitchell, and even Winslow for a few minutes with his physicality, use everything you have. And I would not be surprised if we didn't see Brandon Clark play tomorrow night. I'm just saying.
By the way, didn't talk about it yesterday because obviously everything was talking about Ja's 47-point performance. But I do got to give credit. That block by Gobert on Ja.
Yeah, it was good. Stifle Tower.
Holy moly. It looked like Ja hit a wall. Like, he cocked back with that thing, and it looked like he hit a wall with it, like a brick wall. Like, it stopped immediately when it hit Gobert's hands. I was like, wow. Like, I would have thought at least, like, maybe he could have, like, squeezed it through there. Like, he's not going to make the shot. But, like, that was an absolute rejection of the ball and the person. Like, it was crazy.
And it seemed like from what I read about that block, like, people were giving Ja more credit because he attempted it, as opposed to giving Gobert the credit for just absolutely stifling him. That's the best word I can use.
And I do, like, yeah, I mean, I give Ja is not scared to try and dunk on anybody.
No.
I mean, we've seen that in his career. Like, he is not afraid to do anything and think he can do anything at any time. But my goodness, that was just, I mean, I was like, oh my gosh. Like, he literally just absolutely rejected him and the ball backwards. Everything went backwards from Ja's perspective.
No, you're right. It was like hitting a wall. But then what did Ja say? Because he was mic'd up, I'll be back, or something like that. I'll be back in there. I'll be back to challenge you, basically what he was saying. And he did. And he was fantastic.
He's going to keep going in there. I don't think he's going to try and dunk over him again. I don't know. I'm not sure he's going to try the dunk on Gobert again.
Is there anything that we've been talking about what the Grizzlies need to do, easier said than done, defensively against this Jazz offense. Is there something you think Quinn Snyder and his staff are putting together with their players to try to maybe do what Golden State did in that game in the regular season on that Sunday, to try to keep Ja from going inside as much as they can? And even though he's made some threes now, allow him to take those, but just prevent him from getting to the rim. Is there something that you think they're trying to put together?
I would assume they're going to come with something a little different. When a guy lights you up for 47, you might say, wait, we need to do something a little different than that. Mm-hmm. But I'm just surprised that they didn't run, like, double teams at him early just to get the ball out of his hands at the start of possessions and try and make it tough for him to get the ball back. But and maybe they'll do something like that. I don't know. Or it may be try and back off as much as possible and try and get him to take threes rather than drive to the basket. I would assume there's going to be something different in their approach when a guy gets 47 against you.
I would think the other thought, though, playing devil's advocate, is, he got his 47. We won by 12. So let him do what he does.
I don't know that they can rely on putting up 141 every night.
I sure hope for the Grizzlies' sake they don't. All right, I wanted to touch on the fans getting rowdy again and being ejected the way they've been and being banned. How do you enforce that? I don't know what you can do.
What do you mean, how do you enforce it?
How do you enforce it? How about, okay, let's say a fan is banned from coming back to FedEx Forum. Okay, does something asinine, is banned. He doesn't purchase the ticket online where your information's out there. He goes to a scalper and he gets a ticket. He walks in with a fake mustache and a hat. They don't have his picture like at the post office used to. And then he walks in and he's maybe upper deck. How do you stop that?
Well, I guess if he wants to go with the old fake mustache hat look, maybe he could get in. But, I mean,
well, why not?
They know what if you got fans that are banned, the employees know, like the ushers, you let them know, like these people, they know what they look like. And if you see that person, then you are ejected.
I don't say it.
Again, and you would actually, I think, at that point be subject, you could actually be charged probably with like trespassing or something.
Well, maybe. But again, if you're going back to your same section, I can completely understand that. I guarantee you, if somebody was banned, and let's say they had seats in the high rent district, and again they bought a ticket on the black market, went in there, maybe even incognito, maybe incognito, maybe not. They're not. I guarantee you, the people at the door checking security with thousands of people coming in aren't looking at that. They don't have a picture of that dude. That person's getting in.
They might get in, but again, like when he's sitting, like there are the ushers, everybody else that's around these sections know what these people look like. It's not like there's 1,000 people banned. If you've got like 2 people that are banned, like you know what those 2 people look like.
So you're assuming every usher in the whole arena has done their homework and has studied that person's face. They have other things they got to do, other responsibilities. After a while, I bet you all the people start to look the same to ushers because they deal with these people. I don't know. I don't think an organization can do anything more, right? There's not going to be criminal charges against a guy for throwing popcorn. Now, spitting on a guy could be a different story. Right? But I don't know how you really, truly enforce it. You can do the best you can. And I don't know what else you can do but ban that person. But there's a way. There's absolutely. If a homeless guy can get on the field for USC football, spring practice, out there taking punts, receiving punts, I mean, people can get into the arena. But like I said, there's nothing more I believe that they can do, the organization, other than to ban that fan. I give them credit. Through video, through technology, whatever it is, photographs, they've been able to figure out who those fans are, and probably the help of other fans around them to be able to point out who those culprits are and get them out of there. But if they want to find their way in, they probably could. You're probably right about the trespassing thing if they're able to catch them. So anyway, I'm interested in what your thoughts are, ladies and gentlemen, on that. Pinnacle Roofing and Restoration for all your roofing and home repair needs. It's a simple call away. Brandon McCullough, 901-438-5084. That's 901-438-5084. He's the owner of the company, locally owned and operated. They offer financing when you purchase a new roof, many different plans and options to choose from, including a 6, 12, even an 18-month same as cash option. They'll work with your insurance company or out of pocket. Your insurance company can't tell you what company you have to use to fix your roofing problem. That is your decision. Pinnacle is part of the Roofs for Troops program. Any veteran, active or retired, you get a $250 rebate on the purchase of a new roof. Pinnacle does both residential and commercial roofing, so business owners, property managers, along with homeowners, if you have a leak or any other problem with your roof, you call Brandon today. They'll come out and do a free roof inspection. They're licensed, bonded, and insured, and a member of the Better Business Bureau. You can check them out on the web at newroofmemphis.com. They do work around the home as well. Carpentry work, exterior painting. They can install shingles, replace gutters, put up fencing, siding, rotten wood repair. Quality work at a very reasonable price. Again, it's a locally owned and operated company. It's Pinnacle Roofing and Restoration for all your roofing and home repair needs. Call Brandon today. Tell him I sent you. 901-438-5084 or online at newroofmemphis.com.
So for all the fans going to the game tomorrow, if the guy next to you's mustache falls off midway through the game, he might be on the ban list. Greg thinks he's sneaking in. So if they got the big old glasses with the funny nose, you may want to report them because they might be banned from the arena and they're sneaking in there.
Wait, seriously, you don't think somebody would attempt to do that? To try to sneak in?
I think they very well could. Yeah,
Okay.
I'm not sure they're going the fake mustache route.
No, they could.
Or the big nose.
They could.
But I also think that they would probably be caught and removed from the arena if they did.
This is Middays on Real Sports Talk, Sports 56, 96.1 and 98.5.
Grab a seat for a happy hour with John Harden
Passengers will please fasten their seatbelts.
on Sports 56 Happy Hour. Weekdays from 1 to 3 on Sports 56, 98.5 FM and 96.1 FM.
Uncorn flavor, Corky's barbecue.
There's now a faster and easier way to pick up your Corky's barbecue. Order and pay online, pull into the designated spot, text Corky's to 474747, and we'll bring your order right to your car. No waiting.
Hi, I'm Tito Beveridge, founder and master distiller at Tito's Handmade Vodka. In 1997, I started the first micro distillery in the state of Texas with my dog, Dog Joe, at my side. We're still working with dogs out at the distillery after all these years. Learn more about how dogs are a part of life here at Tito's Handmade Vodka at vodkafordogpeople.com. Tito's Handmade Vodka is made from corn and naturally gluten-free. Cheers. 80 proof Tito's Handmade Vodka, distilled and bottled in Austin, Texas. Tito'sVodka.com.
I got Jeff Allen, the Kia man that'll make you happy in your new ride from Gossett Kia South Mount Moriah. Jeff, what's the scoop?
The scoop is you got to get to Gossett Kia South on Mount Moriah to get a 2021 Kia Forte for just $139 a month. Or how about a 2021 Kia Soul, $179 a month, and a 2021 Kia K5 built in America, $199 per month. All 36-month leases and only $30.49 due at signing.
Plus the industry-leading 10-year, 100,000-mile powertrain limited warranty program.
So whether you live in Horn Lake, South Haven, Olive Branch, or Memphis, and let's not forget West Memphis, Arkansas, you'll be happy at Gossett Kia on Mount Moriah, 2680 Mount Moriah, or KiaMountMoriah.com.
Zero security deposit, $650 acquisition fee, 10,000 miles per year, 20 cents excess mileage, Forte ME 358 110, MSRP 20,590, Soul M777 6411, MSRP 21960, K5 MG 005197, MSRP 26170, includes all manufacturer rebates and incentives, PF 695, excludes tax, title, and license. With approved credit warranty is a limited powertrain warranty. See dealer for complete details. Offer valid through 5/31/21. Dealer stock only.
At First Bank Mortgage, their core purpose is to help you get to a better place. That better place may be a lower monthly payment, that vacation you thought was impossible, or getting into a home with a fenced backyard where your kids can play. To get into your better place, First Bank Mortgage makes decisions right here at home. Dedicated to helping you get to your better place, First Bank Mortgage. Call Daniel Mooney at 901-462-0145 today. NMLS 741022. Equal housing lender.
The folks at Homer Skelton Hyundai want to say thank you. Thank you, Memphis, for another spectacular year. They set records, but I can understand why. You think about the product. Where else do you get a 10-year, 100,000-mile limited powertrain warranty? That's what you get on every new car at Homer Skelton Hyundai. Oh, and thank you again for the 11th straight year, the #1 certified pre-owned car dealership in all of Memphis. It starts with that product, but then it goes to the shopper assurance. Where else do you go where you get transparent pricing, flexible test drive, take the car for a couple of days if you want, streamlined buying process? You're not going to be there all day, in and out. And then, and I have not seen this anywhere else, the 3-day worry-free exchange. You buy a new car, if you've got any buyer's remorse, you've got 3 days to change your mind. Just get on Lamar, take it into Mississippi, the first exit's Craft Road, turn left, and go see Chris True and all the gang at Homer Skelton Hyundai.
Like a coin in your mint, I am dented.
Now, back to Sports 56 Middays. This hour is brought to you by Action247.com. Here once again are Greg Gaston and Eli Savoy.
Take me to the pilot for control. Take me to the pilot of your soul.
Tennessee has opened up a 6-0 lead now on Alabama in an elimination game at the SEC baseball tournament.
I believe it's up to 7-0.
7-0. Wow. I can't keep up with it.
Might be another, might get another run rule game.
The Utah Jazz statement, the official statement from the incident the other night. The Utah Jazz have zero tolerance for offensive or disruptive behavior. An incident occurred last night involving a verbal altercation during Game 2. Arena security staff intervened, and the investigation resulted in the removal and banning of 3 Jazz fans indefinitely. We apologize to all who are impacted by this unfortunate incident and condemn unacceptable fan behavior. The Utah Jazz are committed to ensuring a safe and respectful environment.
The speaking of Jazz fans, the Jazz fans who had the situation with Russell Westbrook, who had filed a lawsuit, and that lawsuit was thrown out by a judge, thankfully. They were claiming that that there was nothing racial about their heckling, and that they had one guy said it cost him his job. He was exposed to online threats. I think it was was it $100 million they were looking for a game?
Something, it was something astronomical.
I think it was like $100 million. Like, it's just like.
'Cause I think I called it frivolous.
It was $100 million, and it's just like, my God. You can't defame someone that bad, dude. You're a normal guy.
Yeah.
Like,
you know, it's one thing to be confident in who you are, but I don't think you're worth $100 million.
Yeah, if this was some athlete who got defamed in some sort of way, like, you could understand where he would lose out on sponsorships and everything else. This guy, like, where is this $100 million number coming from? Did you just write it down?
Did he get? And I guess it was it him and his wife or girlfriend, or I forget, or just a friend? Were they permanently banned, like for life, from going back to a game?
I believe so.
I think so, yeah.
Because these are all indefinite suspensions, but how long is indefinite? By the way, the Knicks announced if they advance to the second round, that's a big if, they'll exclusively sell tickets to vaccinated fans. So how does that work when scalpers buy tickets? They're vaccinated, the scalpers, and they buy those tickets, and then they scalp them, and they sell them to people that aren't vaccinated. How's that work?
I don't know.
You're
all about beating the system today.
I don't want to beat the system, but I know people. That's what people do. If people spent more of their time, their good time, to help and do good things in this world, the world would be a better place. But so many people are so devious and trying to find a way to buck the system, as you said, or just hurt people. And they work really hard on doing things, from hackers to whoever. Anyway, the AutoZone Liberty Bowl announced yesterday that kickoff for this year's 63rd annual game will take place on December 28th at 6:45 prime time on ESPN. I wonder why it's December 28th and not the 31st as it normally is.
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure it was TV makes the decision, so for whatever reason, I guess that's when ESPN probably wanted it for some, I don't know.
Seems like it's been a long time since it's not been on December 31st, just off the top of my head. But December 28th at 6:45. Also, the University of Memphis announcing kickoff times for 7 games so far this year on their schedule, including their opener on September 4th against Nichols. That'll be a 6 o'clock start. Game will be televised on ESPN Plus or live streamed. Then September 11th, the following Saturday at Arkansas State, also 6 o'clock, also on ESPN Plus. The Mississippi State game on the 18th at Liberty Bowl Stadium will be 3 o'clock. That'll be televised on ESPN2. They also announced their game at Temple on October 2nd will be 11 a.m. Thursday, October 14th, they'll play Navy at 6:30. That game will be televised on ESPN. Friday, October 22nd, they'll visit UCF. That'll be a 6 o'clock start. These are Central Times. That'll be on the Deuce. And then the other game they announced the kickoff time for, Friday, November 19th at Houston. That'll be an 8 p.m. start on ESPN+.
This hour of the program is brought to you by Action 24/7. You can take advantage of a little deposit bonus for even existing users can get a deposit bonus on Action 24/7 with a promo code for Memorial Day weekend, promo code America12. All capitals, by the way, the America. But if you go to their promotions page, you'll see more about that and how you can get that deposit bonus. Again, that's for existing users, so you can get a little bit of free money from the folks at Action 24/7. Again, you can bet on the SEC baseball tournament. Mentioned Ole Miss Vanderbilt later today. You can bet on that game. You can bet on all the action from the SEC baseball tournament. They are the only sports book here in Tennessee allowing you to do that. Of course, they've got the Grizzlies, NBA, Major League Baseball, all that. And again, some college baseball thrown in there as well. All you can do is go to action247.com. If you are a new user, if you have not signed up yet, you make that first deposit. That's where you can really get some free money, because if you use the promo code WHBQ100, all capitals on the WHBQ, well, they will match your first deposit 100% up to $400. So a $400 deposit immediately becomes $800 with Action 24/7.
Drew Hill was in Salt Lake City for the first 2 games of this series between the Grizzlies and the Jazz. He's back home, getting ready for games 3 and 4, and we have him next to kick off hour number 2. This is Middays on Real Sports Talk, Sports 56, 96.1 and 98.5.
At Jason's Deli, when you're dining in or picking up curbside, you can expect wholesome food and no surprises, just delicious sandwiches, crisp salads, and quick quality meals made with the freshest ingredients and no artificial trans fats, MSG, high fructose corn syrup, or artificial colors and dyes. Around here, a lot of thought goes into what we put into our food and what we take out of it, because you're not just taking a bite, you're getting a taste of who we are. New items are constantly being created to expand our menu for all tastes and special diets with vegan and gluten-free options available. Convenience and on-time delivery you can count on. It's just a click away at jasonsdeli.com, so whether you need to feed 5 people or 5,000, the team at Jason's Deli, they have the credentials and the commitment to keep you satisfied. Freshness is nearby at Jason's Deli with locations at Ridgeway in the Park Place Center, Poplar and Highland, Germantown Road in Cordova, and on Goodman Road in Olive Branch. Jason's Deli. It's wholesome food and no surprises.
I got Jeff Allen, the Kia man that'll make you happy in your new ride from Gossett Kia South Mount Moriah. Jeff, what's the scoop?
The scoop is you got to get to Gossett Kia South on Mount Moriah to get a 2021 Kia Forte for just $139 a month. Or how about a 2021 Kia Soul, $179 a month, and a 2021 Kia K5 built in America, $199 per month. All 36-month leases and only $30.49 due at signing.
Plus the industry-leading 10-year, 100,000-mile powertrain limited warranty program.
So whether you live in Horn Lake, South Haven, Olive Branch, or Memphis, and let's not forget West Memphis, Arkansas, you'll be happy at Gossett Kia on Mount Moriah, 2680 Mount Moriah, or KiaMountMoriah.com.
0 security deposit, $650 acquisition fee, 10,000 miles per year, 20 cents excess mileage, Forte ME 358 110, MSRP 20,590, Soul M 777 6411, MSRP 21,960, K5 MG 005197, MSRP 26,170, includes all manufacturer rebates and incentives, PF 695, excludes tax, title, and license. With approved credit warranty is a limited powertrain warranty. See dealer for complete details. Offer valid through 5/31/21. Dealer stock only.
The summer of fun is here now at Mario's Pools. Hi, everybody. This is Dave Woloshin from Mario's Pools on Exeter Road. That beautiful pool, well, it just doesn't happen. So call Mario and his team will be right there to guide you every step of the way if you want to do it yourself, or they'll do it for you. If you need a replacement pool liner, Mario has the best price against all the major competitors, and by the way, the best selection. Call Mario's Pools, easy, 552-3399. That's 552-3399, or just walk in, so easy, in Germantown on Exeter Road. The great thing about Mario is he always takes that extra step. He gets to know you and your pool. He'll do everything he can to make it perfect. Mario's has an A rating with the Better Business Bureau. You can check out the reviews on Facebook. Don't be a slave to your pool. Call Mario Pools today, 552-3399.
If ever there was a time for comfort food, this is it. And there's no comfort food like Sunrise on Jefferson. Fresh-made breakfast featuring Sunrise's signature homemade square biscuits, or the huge selection of hot, fresh, and fast lunch items are all part of what has always made Sunrise the most comforting of comfort foods in Memphis. Of course, everything that can be done to keep you and the staff safe at Sunrise is a top priority. And you can always order ahead and get delicious Sunrise to go. At a time this confusing, it's good to know there's one thing you can count on: Sunrise.
Looking for a high-efficiency planting solution? The Case IH 2150 Early Riser Planter combines the industry's most accurate planter technologies with a rugged row unit for a fast and uniform emergence. The Case IH 2150 Early Riser operates at your speed and adapts to unique field conditions so that you can maximize your yield potential. Stop in or call Mid-South Ag Equipment at 662-890-3141 to learn more. That's Mid-South Ag, your Case IH Equipment headquarters.
We are Sports 56 WHBQ Memphis, W253DF Memphis, and WIVG Tunica Memphis. Flynn Broadcasting Stations. Now, back to Sports 56 Middays. This hour of Sports 56 Middays is brought to you by James Gaddis Jewelers at 4900 Poplar. Here once again are Greg Gaston and Eli Savoy.
It's Friday. All is right in the world. Grizz and Jazz getting ready for Game 3 tomorrow night. Little rain ain't going to hurt anybody. Greg Gaston, Eli Savoy, Gabe Kuhn. We are in the Family Leisure Studios where family and fun come together. Family Leisure, 2120 Whitten Road, just north of I-40. Drew Hill from the Daily Memphian joins us in just a moment. Hour 2 of the program is brought to you by James Gaddis Jewelers. And every Monday and Friday, they bring you the Memphis Sports Fact. Did you know the Grizzlies' all-time leader in playoff points is Zach Randolph with 1,058. Marc Gasol is second with 1,013. Zebo's average is 17.1 per game in the playoffs. Marc Gasol's is 17.2. Ja Morant has scored 73 points in 2 playoff games for an average of 36.5 points per game. James Gaddis Jewelers, 4900 Poplar Avenue between Mendenhall and St. Elmo, on the web at gaddisjewelers.com. Give them a call at 901-767-9648. When you do, tell them you heard it here on Sports 56 Middays, or just stop by and tell James or Linda, Jay, any of the great folks at James Gaddis Jewelers that you heard it here on Sports 56 Middays. They are your bridal, engagement, and anniversary jeweler headquarters. Been serving Memphians and Mid-Southerners in that same East Memphis location for over 24 years. They are full-service jewelers with 2-bench jewelers ready to serve you daily. They have experts to help you with wedding and engagement rings, plus 2 repair experts for fine watches and jewelry, as I just mentioned. And layaway and financing is available at James Gaddis Jewelers. Without further ado, he's the Memphis Grizzlies beat writer for the Daily Memphian, and he was in Salt Lake City for games 1 and 2. He is Drew Hill. You can follow him on Twitter at DrewHill_DM. Hey, Drew, how are you?
I'm good. I'm a little tired. The travel took a lot out of me yesterday, but I'm good. I'm rolling on. We got big games this weekend.
Well, first of all, we appreciate you joining us because I know it's not easy to hop on a plane, go cover games, hop back on a plane. And, of course, the altitude. How does the altitude affect the writer?
I think my brain was working fine. I did find a bar. I'm not kidding.
Really? In Salt Lake City?
And I had a couple. Yep, I did. I found a bar, and I had a few beers, and I think it might have affected me there. Maybe I'm crazy. I mean, this could totally this could be such a lie. But I had 2 or 3 beers, and I was like, dang, is this the altitude, or what's up with the beer? It was a little bizarre, but yeah, I mean, I don't know how it affects me in my writing, but, you breathe a little heavy if you go for a jog.
What was atmosphere-wise, was it? I mean, it looked like. Is it packed? Is it full capacity on seats they actually have available there?
Yeah, I mean it was basically full capacity. There was the occasional seat in the lower level and upper level that had a shirt draped over it and a light in it instead of like a person. But the groups of people were only separated by 1 seat, so it looked completely full. Yeah,
because they were they were announcing 13,000 something like that, and I know some seats just would normally be available aren't because they're of certain situations. But I was wondering how they were getting to that number. So there were some empty seats.
I have a suggestion for the Grizzlies that I just thought of right now. You just reminded me of it. if I'm the Grizzlies and this works for the Jazz, in order to make it look completely full, they put whatever the T-shirt was that they gave out to the fans in that section. That was the color of the shirt that they had draped over the seat, and it made it look completely full. And so, to me, that's making me think if they're giving out these growl towels, it would look great if they just let on the few seats that were left open. If the fans would let the growl towels just sit over the chair, because then it makes everything look full. But I'm sure everybody's going to take those.
Yeah, exactly.
And so it won't look that way. But it would be great if they would just leave them because it would look full for the entire game.
Well, as you may know, maybe you don't know, but I'm from South Jersey, and for many, many years would go to Philadelphia and watch sporting events in Philadelphia, and everybody knows about the Philly fans, and, of course, New York's not far from me, and the New York fans, and we get a bad rap sometimes, but sometimes it's understandable why we get the rap we do. But I don't know what it is about Salt Lake City. And I know it's not a bunch of those fans out there for the most part. As T. Morant said yesterday, he's yucking it up with the guys and gals and having a good time. But there's some racism out there because we've seen it before. And now it's reared its ugly head again. And you, fortunately for you as a writer, whereas on the plane going home to Memphis, and there on that same plane was T and Jamie Morant. So you have obviously had a chance to talk to them from the horse's mouth, get all the details. So, Drew, let's go. Let's talk about what absolutely happened there and the response by the Jazz. I would imagine that T's happy with that, but, I mean, nobody could be happy with, the racist remarks that were made.
Yeah, I mean, I would start by saying T and Jamie are both super nice people. Really, really nice. Because I can just, if I were them and somebody approached me in the airport and started asking me about, something that would have happened, I don't know how I would have handled it, but they're super nice, like crazy nice people. Enough. They were obviously upset about what happened. I just said, did people give you a hard time? And they weren't happy with what happened. Jamie sort of pointed out that there were fans that made a really inappropriate, offensive remark. And at the time, it just didn't feel like the right time to like put that information out there because they had told me, the fans were punished and whatever. And then obviously once the Jazz released the statement and they decided to talk to Tim McMahon about it, then I was like, okay, well now it's all right to share this information because I think it's smart to share this type of story because it shows what not to do. It gives a bad example, and sometimes you need that. It's super unfortunate that it happened, and if they wanted to be super outraged about it, I wouldn't blame them at all. They have every right to be based on what was said. It's disgusting. But the fact that they were so like nice about talking about it again, I mean, shows kind of the types of people that they are. And there was a Twitter thread out there. I can't remember who it was from. And it shows like that there were plenty of Jazz fans in the building who they had fun with. And Jaws camp, they were all there together, seating like right below the baseline, or right above the baseline, I should say, in a row. And you could kind of tell who they were because, first of all, they all wear his gear. Like he has like a number 12 brand, and they were all wearing his gear. That's his college teammates that I wrote about that were on their way out there, and his family and his parents and everything. And honestly, I don't think that it was just the Morant family that was hearing it. I've also heard that Dylan Brooks' family also had to got some inappropriate remarks from Jazz fans. And it was only a few of them, but I think that altogether they did the right thing by banning them. And you saw that Donovan Mitchell, even the Jazz players, were coming out and saying it's ridiculous that anybody's family has to deal with that. But, I think the main takeaway is that sucks. They don't deserve to have people talk to them like that. It's unfortunate that it happens, but they are good people. You can just tell.
Well, the couple of things too. One, it was good to see like that there were other Jazz fans in that area that immediately like alerted people like that these people were making inappropriate comments. At least you know that there are other people who understand that like that's inappropriate behavior and it's not okay. And the other thing, like you said, I think people need to hear these stories and understand that like there are consequences, because a lot of people will look at it and go like, if they see the guy pour popcorn on Russell Westbrook and they go, well, yeah, obviously you're going to get banned for that, or a guy spits on Trae Young, you're going to get banned for that. I think some fans believe like you can kind of say whatever you want, and as long as there's no physical thing you're doing to somebody, you're going to be fine, but that you can be banned even if it's just words if you're saying inappropriate stuff.
I think there's a fine line between like friendly trash talk and this sort of incident.
Yeah,
like
vulgar stuff, sexist, racist. Right. Yeah, that crosses the line.
100% crosses the line. And it was so fun in Game 1. And now, listen, I don't know everything that happened in Game 1, so maybe this was also going on in Game 1. But it was fun in Game 1 to watch Dylan become the villain that he is in Utah now. And to see why everybody was booing him, partly because he was playing so awesome and the Jazz couldn't stop him, but partly because he welcomed it. He liked that atmosphere. He liked that type of intensity. You could tell he wanted it. And, that makes sports better. Rowdy crowds like this that, boo every time Dylan Brooks touches the ball, that makes sports better. That's fun. But this sort of stuff is unacceptable. And honestly, the Jazz did the right thing by banning him. And you should be banned if you decide to make any sort of comment like that. But it shouldn't just be limited to basketball. Like, you shouldn't say those things, period, anywhere, especially not at a basketball game. So I'm glad that the Jazz did the right thing.
Drew Hill joining us, Memphis Grizzlies beat writer for the Daily Memphian. You can follow him on Twitter at DrewHill_DM. All right, so the scene shifts now to FedEx Forum. The Grizzlies have great fans. They can get rowdy. They need to get rowdy. What do you expect from those fans? Because we don't know how many of the seats that have been allotted to be sold are going to be sold. But I think whatever it is, how many's in that building, they are going to be in certainly into this game, because after winning game one, the thought is now that you could possibly beat the Jazz. It could possibly be an 8-1. So I think they feel pretty good, as opposed to if, let's say, they came back and they were down 0-2. So what are your expectations?
I expect the building to be loud. It is Memorial Day weekend, so I'm sure people will be getting out to Beale Street and having a few drinks before they go in. That's going to definitely amp up the atmosphere. By the way, my parents have never been to a Memphis Grizzlies game. They are coming into town just to go to Game 3.
How about that?
Grizzlies fans, if you meet my parents in the stands, you can tell them hello. They're also nice people. Yeah, I've told them, I think this will be the best Grizzlies basketball atmosphere we've had since the last time that they were in the playoffs. And this is going to be a rowdy crowd, even at 10,000, around the 10,000 number. I think that they'll pretty much sell out the tickets that they have. I've been getting a lot of tweets at me that there's surge pricing going on and that sort of thing. To be honest, I'm unfamiliar with this, so maybe that's something I need to look into. But I think that at the end of the day, by the time the game tips off, it'll be as full as they can possibly make it. And how do you not feel decent about the Grizzlies' chances after watching those first two games? So the point that I made after the game, and the point that I made on my Daily Memphian podcast with Chris Harrington, is that you can either look at it one of two ways on the whole Game 2 experience. You could say, well, it took a 47-point performance from Ja Morant just to get him back in the game. Or you can look at it as, well, Ja Morant is playing awesome, and they've played two games against the Jazz, one with Donovan Mitchell and one without, and it didn't make a difference. The game still went down to the wire, and it was anybody's, contest going into the final 5 minutes. So whether you want to be optimistic or pessimistic, I think you have you can choose your own adventure there. But for me, I'm choosing to be optimistic, and I think that the Grizzlies, how could you not feel good about their chances to get at least one of these two games at home in Game 3 or Game 4?
You mentioned that the whole surge pricing thing. I saw some stuff, and I don't really understand it either. But I know that there were some people saying that, I guess those tickets, a lot of some of the tickets they released yesterday that were held previously, that they were ridiculously priced. But I saw somebody say that these tickets were further back, rows behind where they had bought tickets for much cheaper earlier, when they first went on sale. So I don't know, but I mean, part of me is kind of like it's supply and demand world out there. And if they can get that price, they can get that price. If they can't, they can. I mean, they need to come down. But if people are willing to pay that price, people are willing to pay that price.
Yeah, to be honest, again, I don't know the details on this. I wish I did. It's just I've seen that this is a trending topic right now on Twitter. But yeah, if people are willing to pay that much for tickets, the Grizzlies have lost a lot of revenue this year based on not being able to put fans in the stands. People want to pay that much for tickets. I don't see why the Grizzlies wouldn't sell them for that amount.
This is the first I've heard of this, and you said it was trending. Obviously, we're doing a show. I'm trying to keep up with that, but I can't imagine too many people want to buy it if they think the numbers are escalating.
Well, part of the problem, I mean, the problem they face, because I don't a lot of people are saying that you can buy them on the secondary market a lot cheaper, the same type of seats right now. So, if you're looking for tickets and they're charging that much, it's apparently you can get the same type tickets much cheaper on the secondary market.
I do want to be fair. Again, I'm saying that I don't understand exactly what's going on here. I want to be fair to the Grizzlies. Like, this could be people misunderstanding and thinking that they're buying them, at face value, but that what's actually listed is a secondary ticket that somebody's trying to resell. I mean,
right.
I think that's
exactly
a possibility. I don't know if that's the case or not, but I'm just throwing it out there. That could also be a possibility, but it is something that I'm seeing a lot.
I think I know what your answer is going to be, but I'll ask you anyway. What will be the reception when Mike Conley is introduced?
He'll get a cheer. He's going to get a cheer. I did a Jazz podcast this week and got asked the same question. I mean, he's going to get a cheer, right? It'd be
absolutely.
crazy.
I think it's going to be more than a cheer. I think he's going to get a standing ovation. I do.
I think that, yeah, sure. I'd go that far. I think he'll get a standing ovation too. And I think Grizzlies fans should give him one.
I think so too. There's nothing wrong with that. And then once the game starts, you hope he misses every one of his shots and he turns it over 20 times, which he won't do.
Hope he doesn't hit Rudy Gobert for 20 dunks on the pick and roll again.
But
they had nobody that could stop that. The Grizzlies had absolutely no. But luckily for the Grizzlies, the Jazz cannot figure out how to stop Ja Morant from going wherever he wants to.
Well, that brings up the question we were talking about earlier, because I asked Eli about this, and I said, if you're Utah and Ja goes for 47 and you still win by 14, you got to feel pretty good about that. But I'm sure they're going to do something to try to lessen the blow from Ja. So do they look at maybe what Golden State did on that Sunday at the end of the regular season and basically force him to shoot outside, although he has proven that he can knock down those shots? But you'd rather have Ja taking threes than going inside, finishing, or facilitating. So will they do anything differently? And what can the Grizzlies do differently to try to defend? They're not going to stop, but try to slow down the perimeter threes and the high pick and roll. So basically 2 or 3 questions for you right there.
I think that the Jazz have to do something differently, so they will. They have nobody who can stay in front of them. Like, Mike Conley is not a slow guy, but he's not fast enough to stay in front of Ja Morant.
Right.
Sure, maybe they back off and they dare him to shoot the same way the Warriors did. That's a possibility. I think they're going to start blitzing these ball screens like teams were doing to Ja in the middle of the season. And just when the Grizzlies, when the Grizzlies set a screen at the top or have some sort of action at the top, you just blitz both guys at Ja and make Ja take the ball out of his own hands and pass it to somebody else, and just make somebody else make a play against you. I think that's the route that we will see from the Grizzlies offensively. What was the other part of this?
The other part was on the flip side. How do the Grizzlies try to slow down the perimeter shooting and the high pick and roll that the Jazz just showed off in Game 2?
Yeah, it starts with don't foul.
Right. Easier said than done, but you're right.
That's probably the easiest answer. Don't foul. Let Dylan Brooks play as many minutes as possible. It's hard. I mean, that's what makes the Jazz so good, because they make you defend the perimeter, and then the second that you pay too much attention on the perimeter, they just throw it down to Rudy Gobert and he gets an easy score. And that's what you saw in Game 2. Your best chance is just to hope that they don't make all those threes, because if they're not having a good three-point shooting night, then it limits what they can do. And sometimes, I think we saw it in Game 1, they'll just keep shooting them and hope that they go in. And if they're not shooting it well from outside, then that can end up really hurting them. So I don't know if there's an easy answer for that for Memphis. I mean, it's just try and contest those three-point shots a little bit better, and don't foul so you can have your best defenders on the floor.
Yeah, I mean, there's no doubt that Utah will keep shooting threes, even if they're not making them. That's
right.
That's what they do. It's a big part of their team. But I agree with you, Joe. That's what I think what they're going to do with Ja is try, throw a double team at him to get the ball out of his hands, try and make it hard for him to get it back. And even if he does get it back, you do so he gets it late in the shot clock where he doesn't have a whole lot of time to and many options. To me, if I was them, that's what I would be doing. I certainly wouldn't be doing what I did in Game 2. That's for sure.
But let's hope that they don't call the game or the remaining games as closely as they've called the first two. I'm sure they will, but let's hope they don't, because that second game did not have a flow to it. And as you pointed out, Drew, Brooks getting into foul trouble. Jonas has gotten into foul trouble early. Jackson getting those fouls, which he's had since he's returned, getting into foul trouble. So I hope they let him play a little bit.
Yeah, my colleague Chris Harrington thinks that foul trouble is a myth. He makes a very compelling case. His case is that a player is technically never in foul trouble, because if you just leave them out there and let them keep playing, in the end they probably are going to play more minutes than if you take them out and sit them on the bench and then put them in later in the game.
I agree, but they don't do that. They yank him and they sit him on the bench.
Yeah, I mean, that's a good question. Like, what do you do? Why have coaches done that forever? Why has that become a thing? I'd be curious to know the answer to that, instead of just letting guys play through foul trouble. And he also made the point that in Game 2, Jonas Valanciunas only finished with 4 fouls. So you sat him on the bench for essentially no reason. You took him out of the game for no reason. Like the foul trouble thing is hard to understand. I would love to hear an explanation. I mean, coaches, I guess to a degree, it's just everybody has always done it. But I think Chris makes a good argument when he says, why not just let everybody keep playing until they actually foul out?
Well, I think it's a good argument. I understand where he's coming from. I think the thought process of coaches is that I want that guy in during crunch time, as opposed to having him foul out with 12 minutes to, the quarter ending, the third quarter, he gets his 6th foul, he's out, and then he's not in there. So you save him so he's in there, and if he fouls out in the last few seconds or minute of the game. I think that's what the process is. Wouldn't you agree, Eli?
Yeah.
Sure, but at the same time, like, Chris also believes that it's a myth, and I do not agree with this. He believes it's a myth that any part of the game is more valuable than another. You know what I mean?
I don't buy that.
And I think in a lot of ways, before I even became an NBA beat writer, I would feel like the games didn't even start until the fourth quarter, because every time a team goes up, somebody comes back. I still kind of feel that way. And I feel like you want your guys out there for the fourth. But in terms of, in the first half, when Jonas Valanciunas picks up his 3rd foul with 5 minutes to go in the second quarter, I don't understand why you don't just leave him out there. And if he gets a 4th, then you're just not playing with him for the 3rd. But he still comes back, and he still comes back for the final quarter, and he only has 4 fouls. I think that he should Taylor Jenkins should let him play through it a little bit more. I
do agree there. Like, especially early in games, it's the whole thing with the college. Like, you get 2 fouls in the first half, and a lot of coaches just absolutely refuse to play anybody with 2 fouls in the first half of a game. I do think you could let guys play through early foul trouble. Now, if you have 4, then I think it's a little bit different, because I do think you want to have your guys for the fourth quarter and for the the final stretch. But I do think early in games, just because a guy picks up a couple early fouls doesn't mean suddenly he's got to be on the bench for the rest of the first half.
Yeah, and of course in college with 2, you only get 5. Plus, if you get teed, that's a personal. Where in the NBA, you get 6, and if you get teed, it's not a personal. So there's more leadway in the NBA. They don't want to see players foul out, quite frankly, especially star players. But I think Chris makes a very interesting point. That first point he made was very interesting. Well, listen, Drew, we've kept you long enough. I know you got to be plumb tuckered out, but you'll be writing, of course, great stuff for the Grizzlies or on the Grizzlies here, as we got a huge weekend. It's going to be a lot of fun. I hope your parents have a great time at the Grizzlies game and here in Memphis. And we always thank you for joining us. He is the Memphis Grizzlies beat writer for the Daily Memphian. He is Drew Hill. Follow him on Twitter at DrewHill_DM. I'm sure we'll run into you tomorrow night as well. Thanks, Drew.
Yep. See you guys.
Take care. Good stuff.
Yeah, that's it. I mean, again, the whole foul trouble thing is it's an interesting point. But I do think there is something to be said for making sure you have your guys in the fourth quarter. Because I certainly believe that the fourth quarter, especially in NBA games, is different than the first or second quarter or the third. I think, NBA games, I think that everything gets ratcheted up in the fourth quarter as far as that is concerned. New Life Medical Center is located at 9160 Highway 64. Open 7:30 to 5 during the week, Monday through Friday. They're open 9 to 1 on Saturday as well, with primary and urgent care. So taking care of what is ailing you. COVID tests available with the rapid test that get your results in 15 minutes. Testosterone replacement therapy, weight loss programs, a lot of different things that they do at New Life Medical Center, all about keeping you as healthy as possible. So again, go by and see them at 9160 Highway 64. If you've got any questions or want to make an appointment, you don't have to have an appointment, but if you want to make an appointment, you certainly can. You can give them a call at 213-0100. That's 213-0100, New Life Medical Center.
The head football coach of the USC Trojans, Clay Helton, is next. This is Sports 56 Middays.
Let Dave Woloshin and Brett Nordsworthy take you home with Sports Time on Sports 56. Weekday afternoons from 3 to 6 on Sports 56, 98.5 and 96.1.
Start your engines Mid-South and get ready to ride in your new Mitsubishi from Gossett Mitsubishi, 1870 Covington Pike. Who doesn't want 41 mpg highway today? We Gossett with 2021 Mitsubishi Mirage G4, $14,647 or $179 a month. And take your pick with dynamic redesign in your 2022 Outlander or 2022 all-new Eclipse Cross, now $309 a month. All powered by a stellar 10-year, 100,000-mile powertrain limited warranty. Plus, test drive today and you'll receive a free gift card on us. So get to Gossett Mitsubishi today, 1870 Covington Pike, or shop online at memphismitsubishi.com.
If you want it, we got it at Gossett Motor Cars.
All 500 military rebate, G4 stock number MHF 06296, MSRP 17735, Outlander NZ00 8245, MSRP 27260, Cross NZ00 4494, MSRP 27725, includes all rebates and incentives, PF 695, excludes tax title license with approved credit. See dealer for complete details. Offer valid through 5/31/2021, dealer stock only.
Hi, this is Lauren Choate with Choate's Air Conditioning, Heating, and Plumbing. Did you know Willis Carrier invented the modern air conditioning system in 1902? Since then, a lot has changed, but one thing that hasn't is being comfortable in your home. Choate's prides itself in creating the most comfort possible with each one of our customers' HVAC systems we install. We believe the best system on the market today is the Carrier Infinity System. This system has the ability to save up to 50% or more on your utilities compared to your existing HVAC system and is tailored to enhance your comfort with its state-of-the-art green speed technology. Right now, Carrier is offering up to 72 months, no interest financing, or rebates of up to $1,650 on a new Carrier Infinity System. Don't miss this limited time offer to have a more comfortable home and save money on your utility bills. Give us a call today at 347-8086 or visit us at ChoatesHVAC.com for more information. And remember, Choates, let our family serve your family.
Corky's is your home for authentic Memphis barbecue. Our dining rooms are open, or stop by our speedy drive-thru. Order your party packs today, starting at only $5.99 per person.
You looking for a ride equipped with family fun for everyone? We Gossett at Gossett Chrysler Jeep Dodge Ram Fiat on the Pike during the Jeep Freedom Days and Memorial Day sales event. 2021 Jeep Renegade Sport, $23,990 or $299 a month. 2021 Dodge Charger XST, $31,110 or $399 a month. 2021 Jeep Wrangler Sport, $335 a month. And 2021 Fiat 500X Pop all-wheel drive, $24,490 or $329 a month. So drive past the rest and come to the best. Gossett Chrysler Jeep Dodge Ram Fiat 1900 Covington Pike or shop online. GossettMotorCars.net.
If you want it, we got it at Gossett Motor Cars.
Almost financed through Chrysler, 75 months at 4.15% APR, 500X, MP 8982, MSRP 27885, Renegade MPM 44788, MSRP 26240, Charger SXT, MH 561998, MSRP 33110, Wrangler MW 725203, MSRP 33610, includes all rebates and incentives, PF 695, excludes tax title and license. See dealer for complete details. Offer valid through 5/31/21 with approved credit, dealer stock only.
Now, back to Sports 56 Middays. This hour of Sports 56 Middays is brought to you by James Gaddis Jewelers at 4900 Poplar. Here once again are Greg Gaston and Eli Savoy.
And we welcome you back to Sports 56 Middays. Greg Gaston, Eli Savoy, and Gabe Kuhn. It's once again a pleasure to talk with the head football coach of the USC Trojans, our good friend Clay Helton. Coach, I hope it's been an outstanding spring for you. I know we're getting to the dog days of summer, which are going to look a lot different than they were last year at this time.
Yeah, isn't it nice to have the opportunity to have your team in their strength and conditioning cycle, getting ready for a training camp. I have recruits back on campus, both official visit-wise and unofficial visits, to have some high school camps, having the chance to go on across college campuses. What a breath of fresh air. And so glad we're trending in the right direction, not only on the college landscape, but obviously our country and where this COVID is decreased and allowing some doors to open and things to get back to a little bit of sense of normality.
What was last year like, from going from you didn't even know if you were going to have a season, then all of a sudden you are having a season, a very short season. You guys start with these 2 miracle wins to start the year. You go to the conference championship game. What the heck was last season like for you?
Well, it made you, Eli, it made you thankful to have the opportunity to play the game we love, to be honest with you. You never know how much you miss something until it's gone. And, I remember leaving the building on March 15th, and we didn't re-enter until July 6th, and really didn't have any notion, are we going to get to play or not. And I think when we stepped back on the field for the first time, we were just grateful and thankful to get the chance to play the game we love, and made the most of each opportunity. Made us stronger as a team, relation came stronger, having to fight through adversity together, really come out of the regular season, abbreviated regular season, undefeated, playing a conference championship. So it really grew our team. It made us resilient, made us a tougher team that handled some really extreme adversity in all aspects of our life. And it made a stronger, healthier team. And so there was definitely some hardships, but there were some great silver linings in last season, and being a part of that team. It's a memory that I'll always have. It was some of my funnest time coaching, to be honest with you.
Well, we all remember how bad it was for everybody in the summer, especially of 2020. And then as we're getting ready to see what type of football season we're going to have, the SEC and a couple of other conferences commit to playing, and for a while there, the Pac-12 didn't look like they would have a season whatsoever. Did you ever seriously think in the back of your head that there's a good chance we're not going to play at all, and you end up playing a limited schedule, but as you just talked about, 5-1, you made it to the Pac-12 championship game, but how do you discuss that with your players that we may not have a season? Did you really think that could happen?
Yeah, the reality of the situation is, you were walking into a situation where the number one priority was the health and safety of the student athlete. Mm-hmm. And that had to be the number one priority each and every day. And, in the environment that we are in, being on the West Coast, as well as a larger city geographically, and most of our West Coast footprint, if you think about, we are in cities, whether it's Seattle, whether it's LA, whether it's Phoenix, whether it's Salt Lake City, we were in a different maybe environment and climate than other places. And so we needed a little bit of additional time to make sure that everything was right, prior to bringing back our student athletes. And that continued focus of making sure their health and safety was priority one is something that I appreciated. And then I'm very appreciative when everything was set up right, that the conference, the state, and local governments and the university said, okay, we're ready to move forward. And we got to have that experience. And we got to have those 6 games and really create some nice memories for kids. And then the NCAA coming back and saying, you know what, there is going to be a COVID exception, and those kids are going to get that year back if they choose to. So it really was, in a very hard time, we made the most of it, and it gave kids some extra experiences. And I watched like an Elijah Barrett Tucker, from a kid that was probably going into that season, maybe a second-round pick, that made himself a top 15 pick with those 6 games and showing his versatility at tackle. So there were so many great stories that came out of that season, and very appreciative for those 6 games.
How did spring football go? You've got a lot of talent coming back, especially on the offensive side of the ball. How was spring ball, and kind of what are your expectations as you look forward to the fall?
Yeah, Eli, it was really, any level of football, you're always grateful when you have a great quarterback. I don't care if it's NFL, college, high school. To be able to have Keaton Slovis back going into his third season and be able to develop two young bucks, right behind them in Miller Moss and Jackson Dart, to be able to have that development over the spring. We did not get a training camp, last spring, abbreviated one in the fall. So that development for those young kids are imperative. We returned 4 of our starting 5 offensive linemen. We have some dynamic kids on the outside, like Drake London, Brew McCoy, Gary Bryant, Avai Malapai, PI coming back, a Keontae Ingram, and a Brandon Campbell that really join us in the backfield. So we're really excited, going into next season offensively. We've got, defensively, we bring a Drake Jackson back, who I think is going to be one of the better defensive players in the country, who's just wreaks havoc. 2, really a secondary that returns 4 of the 5 really experienced players. So we're right in the position to be able to go out and do something special. I got to see glimpses of that last season, and it really fired me up for this opportunity going into 2021.
I read a story the other night from the Los Angeles Times, kind of recapped your spring football session in their minds, and they said they had spoken with Keaton Slovis, who admitted that he lost some of his confidence during his sophomore season. But I would imagine that he is fired up to put up some huge numbers and lead your team to a lot of wins this year, especially, as you mentioned, with Jackson Dart and Miller Moss right there behind him. Competition brings out the best, doesn't it?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, definitely. And I think one of the things that's always so important for quarterbacks is experience and reps. I've been I played the position, coached the position, and one of the things I've always learned is, kids grow from experience. Whether there's good experiences or bad, they learn from them. And so having that opportunity for Keaton to be able to really grind out, an undefeated regular season and have to win some ball games late and make some spectacular endings and throws, it helps you grow and it just makes you better. So walking in and watching him this spring and seeing the leadership that he's creating, to be able to see his confidence in throwing the ball right now, and to see what he was able to accomplish in spring ball, I can't wait to have another fall training camp, and I think he's poised to have a great season on a national scale.
Every coach we have on now, we have to ask how the transfer portal treated you. I mean, what your thoughts are on the situation with the transfers, the new rule that's in place. Of course, you guys had Taj Washington from here at the University of Memphis as well. But what's your feelings on the situation with the way things are with the transfers now?
Yeah, definitely. For us, I think for all coaches, we are going to have to adapt and learn. There's always been a ton of rule changes throughout our college experience, and this is one. And head coaches will have to do a great job of monitoring and managing their rosters. I do think that it gives an opportunity for guys to be able to get maybe 1, 2, 3 people to be able to come in and help you immediately. For us, we've always tend to lean more towards younger players. But I remember, Les Snead, and when he was with the Rams and having the opportunity to, be able to garner Ndamukong Suh and Marcus Peters, and to lead that one year. They went to the Super Bowl, and they went from a playoff team to a Super Bowl team. And so be able to acquire a couple guys that can help you immediately is always a good thing. So I think there's going to be, we're going to have to adapt as coaches. There are going to be changes. You're going to have to listen to kids and be able to do things that help them and their college experience, and be really open to the situation, because it's here. And you're going to have to be able to manage it and be able to have honest and real conversations with the players on your team, and understand that, when you do lose some guys, maybe to NFL attrition, or they graduate early, that you're able to acquire a couple also. So just like anything in college, the college football landscape seems to change each and every year, and coaches adapt to it. We're used to it.
Clay Helton joining us, the head football coach of the USC Trojans. You can follow Clay on Twitter at USC Coach Helton. All right, successful spring session. A lot of good things came out of it. Also one of the strangest stories that you'll ever see. And since we have the big boss man on, can you give us exactly the details, what you know of how a homeless person was on the field receiving punts from you guys? How did that happen, and what went down with that, Clay?
Well, I'll say this. I've always looked at something, Greg, as something that you try to help a person rather than ever make fun of a situation.
Right.
And, I tend to look at how can we help somebody, So I'm more focused on that, to be honest with you, than ever to have levity or a discussion on or make fun of a situation.
Right.
The fact of the matter is, in the city of Los Angeles, there are those in need in several different ways. And I'm thankful to our university for actually reaching out to this young individual and being able to see how we can help.
That is fantastic.
And so I'd rather leave it at that, if you don't mind, just out of respect to that individual and to the situation.
Absolutely, well said. And I know there's a major issue with homelessness in Los Angeles. It's been well documented. So I'm very well documented. So I'm very glad that you guys were able to do that and reach out to that individual. Go ahead, Eli.
So Clay, for the Pac-12, and with the fact that it's you guys have been missing out on the playoff here the past couple of years, what needs to happen from a conference perspective to get back and be securing a spot in that playoff?
Yeah, right now we understand that we have to do a great job within not only our conference schedule, which we play 9 conference games, but also it's so important for us because of the competitive level of our conference from top to bottom. Not only do you have to, run the table conference, but you have to do a great job of your non-conference and being successful outside. And I look at us, and you're thankful as a head coach to be able to produce a resume that has 9 conference games, that plays in Notre Dame every year. This year, adding BYU and San Jose State. Now you got 3 non-conference opponents that were in the top 25 year. You look at that and you go, wow, what a tremendous resume when you do your job. There shouldn't be a discussion, when you win a conference championship, to go do your job and win those games. From that level, that's what we have to do as a conference, is not only be able to, go win a conference championship, but also be very, very good outside the conference, because I'm in complete agreement. Undefeated or one-loss Pac-12 champion should go to the college football playoff. And right now we're at 4 teams. Who knows what the future holds, whether it's 8, whether it's 12. But right now we have to look at, we have 4 teams. That's the reality. Hopefully one day it does grow and makes even more excitement. But for us at USC, it's about winning our conference, taking every week, trying to be 1-0 and add up those wins. So when you look up and you go, hey, we're conference champions, we did a great job outside of our league, we produced a great resume, allow us to be a part of that conversation.
You beat us to the punch. You're absolutely right. You can only play the hands that you can only play the hand you're dealt. But would you like to see the increase in the amount of teams that go to the playoff? Would it be a good thing for college football in general?
Yeah, Greg, right now the reality is we have 4. We have 4 spots. I do think that at some point in time, will be a great college football across the board to be able to, I think it will create great excitement, even more competition. And who knows what that number will be, whether it's 8, 12, 16. Those are for smarter men than me. I look forward. I do think it would be ultra exciting. I think it would provide even more competition across the country. I think you would get some dynamic games as far as increasing and be able to see all the power. I think of the teams like Memphis. 2 years ago, that Memphis team was as good as anybody in the country. You think of the Central Floridas and the Cincinnatis and the Memphises and the job that they're doing. I think that level of that competition would create unbelievable excitement. But And like I said, the reality is we're at 4. And until that changes, you have to deal with reality. And so our reality is be one of the best 4 teams in the country to be able to get in.
Final thing for you, I know a lot of different schools and NFL teams are already announcing full capacity for the fall. California's been a little bit different, stricter, a little bit more strict with their rules. Hopefully things have opened up out there where you are. Has that been announced yet about the Coliseum and capacity for fans this fall?
Yeah, we're trending in the right direction, Greg. We got to do our spring game, and we were allowed 5,000 fans within our stadium. We are trending in the right direction, thank the good Lord. And so we're hoping, we got our fingers crossed that continues to increase the number. We're hoping and praying for full capacity. But we also got to know the reality is we got to see where we are at that point in time. So, there's not total clarity, but we are trending in a great direction right now, where some of the protocols have lightened up, and just to have, our spring game, just to have parents in the stands and fans in the stand, gosh almighty, was it a breath of fresh air. I so enjoyed it. Our kids enjoyed it, and we hope and pray that we get even more come the fall.
He is the head coach of the USC Trojans. He's Clay Helton. You can follow him on Twitter at USC Coach Helton. Clay, it's always a pleasure. Thank you so much. Continued success, and we'll be keeping up with the Trojans.
All righty. Thanks, Greg. Thanks, Eli. Take care.
Thank you, Clay. Clay Helton of the USC Trojans. We'll take a timeout, come back with more Middays right here on Real Sports Talk, Sports 56, 96.1, and 98.5.
We are Sports 56 WHBQ. Listen to us daily on AM 560, 98.5 FM, and 96.1 FM.
Brian Elder's Roofing Solutions.
2021 is finally here. Might I suggest we start the wonderful new year with a makeover for your beautiful house. I'm Brian Elder. I'm a roofer. I fix roofs. Don't let them tell you that it has to be replaced when all it may need is some love. 867-0303. Let me love on your roof. I've made quite the reputation over the last decade as the guy to call after the insurance company denies the claim. Overturning a claim that has gone bad is an art form where you argue county code, manufacturer specs, and details of your policy that they have to abide by. So let me see it first. If I say it's a claim, it's a claim. 867-0303. Money is free at Brian Elder Roofing with 0% financing for half a decade. I'll measure your roof from outer space and get you a quote right over the phone. 867-0303 or BrianElderRoofing.com.
Call 867-0303. Brian Elder's Roofing Solutions.
Frontier Western Store is open and ready to serve you for all your needs in boots, apparel, pet food, and more. Frontier is proud to be a local leader here in the Mid-South when it comes to boots. Stop by the store today for an incredible selection of name brand work and dress boots. Come browse aisles and aisles of top quality boots at everyday low prices in their world-famous boot showroom. Dan Post, Rocky, Durango, Twisted X, Georgia, Ariat, and many more. There's so many styles, colors, and fits available, you might need a hand picking out your favorites. Luckily, Frontier's knowledgeable sales staff will cheerfully assist you with any questions you have and ensure the proper fit of your new boots. Frontier also has an amazing selection of jeans and shirts by Wrangler, Ariat, and Carhartt, as well as a fully stocked women's boutique department with thousands of tops and dresses at unbelievable prices. New arrivals often. Frontier Western Store, 5880 Goodman Road in Olive Branch, and on the web at frontierwesternstore.com. Family owned and operated since 1967.
Start your engines Mid-South and get ready to ride in your new Mitsubishi from Gossett Mitsubishi, 1870 Covington Pike. Who doesn't want 41 mpg highway today? We Gossett with 2021 Mitsubishi Mirage G4, $14,647 or $179 a month. And take your pick with dynamic redesign in your 2022 Outlander or 2022 all-new Eclipse Cross, now $309 a month. All powered by a stellar 10-year, 100,000-mile powertrain limited warranty. Plus, test drive today and you'll receive a free gift card on us. So get to Gossett Mitsubishi today, 1870 Covington Pike, or shop online at memphismitsubishi.com.
If you want it, we got it at Gossett Motor Cars.
All 500 military rebate. G4 stock number MHF 06296. MSRP 17735. Outlander NZ00 8245. MSRP 27260. Cross NZ00 4494. MSRP 27725. Includes all rebates and incentives. PF 695. Excludes tax not on license with approved credit. See dealer for complete details. Offer valid through 5/31/2021. Dealer stock only.
Tired of waiting on your sportsbook? Waiting for deposits and withdrawals? No more waiting with Action 24/7. We're cutting out the middleman. Deposit or withdrawal in cash. Action 24/7 has more than 100 partners in Tennessee for cash deposits and withdrawals. Visit action247.com for a location. Cash deposits and withdrawals from your Tennessee sportsbook. Action247.com. You got action.
Must be 21 or older and in Tennessee. For problem gambling support, call 800-889-9789.
Now, back to Sports 56 Middays. This hour of Sports 56 Middays is brought to you by James Gaddis Jewelers at 4900 Poplar. Here once again are Greg Gaston and Eli Savoy.
D1 Baseball reporting that Paul Maneri, the LSU baseball coach, will announce his retirement today. In fact, at noon, so just a few minutes away, said that's been in the making for a while. That is a great job for somebody. Of course, Skip Burtman for all those years down there. An LSU baseball gig, it's a pretty darn good gig.
Clay Helton was not really willing to talk about the homeless guy very much.
No, I tried.
He did not want to. He did not want to get into that.
Well, he's very authentic, Clay, and he's very. I don't know if he's real religious, but he's. I don't know how to explain his personality. He's a great guy, but I had to ask about it. I mean, that was just one of the craziest stories you'll ever see in sports. And yes, there's obviously a homeless problem in California, and he wanted to direct his answer towards that and towards the university helping out that individual and others. But man, I've watched stories on the homelessness population in Los Angeles, which is horrible. It's horrific. But yes, it was still quite the story of the homeless guy somehow making it through onto the field during spring football and taking punts, and nobody noticed the guy for a while. I still think it's a great story. But yeah, I obviously feel bad for those who are struggling, like that gentleman is.
I got a text for the First Bank text line. Says, guys, I've craved sharp cheddar and Ritz crackers for snack the last couple of nights. Wonder where that idea came from.
There you go. You won't go wrong.
Some news from the NBA. Bad news for the Bucks. Dante DiVincenzo has suffered a serious tendon injury in his left foot. He will miss the remainder of the playoffs. That according to Shams.
And your buddy Jeff Green's going to miss the rest of the first round for the Nets. Not like they need him. But Jeff Green, one of the veteran players who's been in a lot of playoff games, will be out for the rest of the series. Of course, the Nets are in control right now, 2-0 over Boston. And how about this? Tony La Russa isn't making a lot of friends, is he? He's back managing. He's with the White Sox. The White Sox are winning. They're a really good team. Winning. The family of a former White Sox stadium worker is crying foul after a lounge named after her was renamed in honor of Tony La Russa. A food area is now called La Russa's Lounge, a change from Loretta's Lounge in honor of Loretta Michelli, who sold beer and hot dogs for more than 6 decades. For them to not even notify us, it's a shame. Lou Soto, her great-grandson, said of the name change.
Yeah, I saw some people on Twitter the other night that from Chicago that cover the Cubs and White Sox and everything else were talking about that, and I didn't know anything about it. But I don't understand, I just don't understand why they would have changed the name. Why? He's the manager of your team. What are you naming the lounge for him for?
Yes.
Anyway,
he's the acting manager of the team.
If it didn't have any name whatsoever, and you wanted to do something, just he is the manager. Hey, this is La Russa's Lounge. Whatever. But if it already had a name and for a particular reason for a particular person, why would you decide to change that to La Russa's Lounge?
Did Reinsdorf promise him everything when he brought back his old friend to manage the team?
I just don't understand the need to name some lounge after your manager when it already had a name.
Wait till next season when they're called the Chicago La Russas. They changed the nickname as well. Well, I had to offer him a lot to get him back to manage. And then how about this crazy story from last night? A traffic jam kept L.A. Angels right-hander Shohei Ohtani from making it to the ballpark in time for his regular pregame pitching routine. Thus, he did not pitch. Now, he was able to get there to play the game as a position player, but he wasn't able to pitch, so he was scratched from his scheduled start. It was an accident on the Bay Bridge that snarled traffic for one of the Angels' several buses, making a 45-minute trip increasingly longer than planned. Ohtani returned to the hotel, and he wound up on BART. He was trying to get to the stadium on BART, that's the Bay Area Rapid Transit, and fell further behind schedule.
Yeah, traffic out there is bad. It could get really bad.
Hey, Mommy, is that Shohei Ohtani?
And we around here know what happens when a bridge gets we got some problems with a bridge. It can back stuff up for a long time. And, that's unfortunate. Unfortunate situation. But Shohei will pitch tonight, I guess, for the Angels. As long as there's no accidents on the bridge or cracks in the bridge.
Let's hope not. Hey, they had an earthquake there in 80. When was the World Series between the Giants and the A's, the Bay Series? 87?
89.
89? And it got to the bridge, man. Could you imagine that? I don't like bridges anyway. I don't mind the bridge itself, but the height. As long as I can't see too much over the sides, over the rails, I'm fine. And I've driven over a bunch of big bridges, but man, oh man, the Bay Bridge, that's scary. And especially when you're in San Francisco and you know how often they get earthquakes. That'd be like my luck. Oh, no, not now. I'm driving over the bridge. I think about those weird, morbid things. Jason Kokrak, 10 under par. He is your leader at the Charles Schwab Challenge by 3 strokes over Maverick McNeely, Sergio Garcia, and Jordan Spieth, who has yet to start his second round. A bunch of other guys, 6 and 5. Scores are low at Colonial Country Club in Fort Worth. Also, the Senior PGA Championship is being played after yesterday's first round. Sean McKeel, a 1 under par. I believe he finished tied for 11th. Doug Barron was 2 over, and John Daly was 7 over heading into round 2 of the Senior PGA Championship. We are headed to round number 3. Well, hour number 3. Our final hour of the day, our final hour of the week, and we're going to start things off with a little something different. A professional eater by the name of Randy Santel, who will be in town tomorrow at the Kooky Canuck. This guy is going for his 1,000th food challenge win. We'll tell you all about it. We'll talk to him and ask him why the hell he's doing what he's doing. Randy Santel is next. Then we got 10 in a row, the game show that has swept the nation. We'll get back into the Grizzlies Jazz in our final moments before we wrap it up and call it a week. This is Middays on Real Sports Talk, Sports 56, 96.1 and 98.5.
I got Jeff Allen, the Kia man that'll make you happy in your new ride from Gossett Kia South Mount Moriah. Jeff, what's the scoop?
The scoop is you got to get to Gossett Kia South on Mount Moriah to get a 2021 Kia Forte for just $139 a month. Or how about a 2021 Kia Soul, $179 a month, and a 2021 Kia K5 built in America, $199 per month. All 36-month leases and only $30.49 due at signing.
Plus the industry-leading 10-year, 100,000-mile powertrain limited warranty program.
So whether you live in Horn Lake, South Haven, Olive Branch, or Memphis, and let's not forget West Memphis, Arkansas, you'll be happy at Gossett Kia on Mount Moriah, 2680 Mount Moriah, or KiaMountMoriah.com.
0 security deposit, $650 acquisition fee, 10,000 miles per year, 20 cents excess mileage, Forte ME 358-110, MSRP 20,590, Soul M777-6411, MSRP 21,960, K5 MG 005197, MSRP 26,170, includes all manufacturer rebates and incentives, PF 695, excludes tax title and license, with approved credit warranty is a limited powertrain warranty. See dealer for complete details. Offer valid through 5/31/21, dealer stock only.
It's time to tee it up at Edwin Watts Golf Shops with these hot items for dads and grads. Featuring the tailor-made Sim 2 drivers with forged ring construction that enhances distance and forgiveness. And don't miss these hot gifts from Bushnell, like the Tour V5 or the Tour V5 Shift with pin seeker technology, or the Wingman with Bluetooth and audible GPS for distance. Swing by Edwin Watts Golf Shops and get custom fit today. Edwin Watts Golf Shops, home of the 90-day satisfaction guarantee, and shop us online at worldwidegolfshops.com.
Hi, this is Troy Five-Ash, owner of Five-Ash Roof Services. You've heard me talk about how we offer the best products, the best warranties, and the best services for years. Now let's talk about pricing. Pricing should never be the only reason you hire a contractor, but in today's world, pricing is always a consideration. So we suggest you get 2 or 3 estimates for your roof replacement from a reputable, licensed, and insured company, and then give us a call. If we can't beat your best price for a comparable roof system by more than $100, we'll give you $100. It's that simple. We are so sure we can offer you the best price, beating all other qualified companies. We will hand you $100 if we can't, and thank you for the opportunity. So give us a call. What's the worst thing that's going to happen? Make $100? Five-Ash Roof Services, a proud supporter of Tiger Athletics and the official roofer of the Tigers home team. Five-Ash Roof Services, fair, honest, and ethical. 367-0050 or memphisroofer.com.
Five-Ash Roofing is what we do. We're here for you.
I'm here with the great Pat Donahue from the Rendezvous Restaurant Shipping Department.
Thanks, Brett. We've been shipping our ribs all over the country now for decades from our USDA-inspected shipping kitchen in the Pinch District. We hand-cook our ribs in pits that Mr. Charlie built over charcoal, just like they do at the restaurant.
So what comes in a rib box?
We could do pork shoulder, we could do ribs, our sauce, seasoning, baked beans, coleslaw. We'll even throw in Pancho's cheese dip with our nacho boxes. We also put a bag of Rendezvous seasoned popcorn, heating instructions, some chef hats, some wet naps, and some other helpful tips from our kitchen. We ship our ribs overnight, exclusively FedEx. And we put them in nice packaging. We don't ever want to use styrofoam, so we use corrugated cardboard, actually 2 boxes that fit nice together. So the ribs get to you, your loved ones, or your clients in a safe, wholesome manner. Rendezvous ribs are perfect for out-of-town clients, customers, loved ones. We also ship ribs for any occasion.
Where do we order these great ribs?
You can go to www.hogsfly.com or give us a call at 1-888-464-7359.
Charlie Burgos' Rendezvous Restaurant in the alley since 1948.
First Bank is here to help you, whether you're a business looking for a loan to expand or refinance an existing one, a homeowner looking for a mortgage or home equity line, a consumer wanting to finance your dream car, or wanting a competitive rate on your CD deposits. Let First Bank try to handle your banking needs. Stop into one of First Bank's 3 local branches today, 6482 Poplar Avenue just east of International Paper, 8398 Highway 64 across from Wolf Chase, and 6280 Highway 64 in Oakland. Or check them out online at firstbankonline.com. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
We are Sports 56 WHBQ Memphis, W253DF Memphis, and WIVG Tunica Memphis. Flynn Broadcasting Stations. Now, back to Sports 56 Middays. Here once again are Greg Gaston and Eli Savoy.
Everyone's watching to see what you do.
We are having a great time on this Friday edition of Middays. Greg Gaston, Eli Savoy, Gabe Kuhn in the Family Leisure Studios, where family and fun come together. Family Leisure, 2120 Whitten Road, just north of I-40. Our final hour, not only today, but this week, getting you set for the sports weekend, a big weekend here in Memphis. Of course, it's a holiday weekend with Memorial Day being on Monday. We will, by the way, have our shows on Monday, and there's a lot to talk about with the Grizzlies and the Jazz. Game 3 tomorrow night, Game 4 Monday night from FedEx Forum. But tomorrow afternoon, maybe to get your day started, because finally we're going to get a lot of people out and about in downtown Memphis and going to the game tomorrow night, but they can go over and see something that's pretty crazy. I'll be honest with you. I thought the biggest thing that came out of St. Louis was our extraordinarily talented producer and former Memphis Tiger stud, Gabe Kuhn, but I think it just may be our next guest, Randy Santel. He is a professional eater. Nobody told me when I was a kid I could become a professional eater one day. Well, you have to have some skills to do that. And Randy, along with 3 of his professional eating buddies, will be taking on the 25-pound Humunga Cucamonga Challenge tomorrow at Cookie Canuck, the downtown location, at 3 o'clock. And Randy's looking for his 1,000th food challenge win. You can follow him on Twitter at Randy Santel. He has a YouTube channel as well. Randy Santel, the pride of St. Louis, Missouri, joins us now on Sports 56 Middays. Sir, how are you? Thanks for joining us.
Hey, I am great. That was a great build-up. I appreciate that.
Well, thank you. I know you've been all around the world, not only here in the United States competing, but all around the world. Obviously, the first question is, how did you get started in this thing? How did you realize that you can do something like this?
Yeah, no, it's pretty crazy what you can do in this world today with social media and everything. I actually started back in 2010, and I mean, kids didn't really wake up back then just wanting to be YouTubers and stuff like today. But actually, believe it or not, you wouldn't believe it if you just saw me today because I'm a bit heavier than I'd like to be. But back in 2010, I competed in and won a nationally sponsored body transformation contest. It was sponsored by Men's Health Magazine. And then did you ever watch the show Spartacus? It was on the Starz Network.
I've seen it.
Yes. Yeah, I won, and I got a trip out to Auckland, New Zealand to appear on an episode of that show. So if you blinked, you'd miss me, but it was still a great opportunity. And to celebrate that, my buddy, he had already lost before, but he invited me. He knew I could eat. He wanted to kind of just treat ourselves because he kind of did the diet with me. And he asked me to do a 28-inch 11-pound pizza in St. Louis, Missouri, where we're both from, like you had said, called the Pointersaurus. It's a pretty famous challenge all around the area, but we won. Tons of teams have tried. Not that many have actually won, and we won the pizza for free, but then we got a check for $500. And I actually had dessert and a few other things afterwards, eating with my family, and I realized I was pretty good at it. A month later, I did an 18-inch pizza in Jefferson City, Missouri, and I was the first winner after over 120 fails, and I won a check for $450. So everything just kind of went from there. It's just been a big evolution ever since.
So did you have you always been, before you started doing these challenges, but did you always eat a lot, whatever you ate? Did it take a lot to fill you up? How did you kind of figure this out?
Pretty much all competitive eaters kind of get into it the same way, just from a dare. But a lot of them have a past of eating a lot, like cleaning up the leftovers at a party, stuff like that. I played high school and college football. I played college football at Missouri State University in Springfield, Missouri. But I've always been able to eat. Back when I got my first job, I was a sandwich artist at Subway. I used to eat 3 double meat footlongs every time I worked within a 5 to 6 hour period, just taking advantage of the situation, I guess. But no, actually, I wanted to get better as an offensive lineman, and between my junior year and my senior year of high school, I gained 100 pounds. So that did not come from eating salads. So I've always been able to eat a lot.
By the way, footnote to the footlongs, that Subway went out of business a month later from him eating all those subs.
Yeah.
Randy Santel joining us here on the program. All right, so let me ask you this. You're doing this, and we're going to talk about the specific challenge tomorrow. Sean Danko, I love the guy, love the place, Kooky Canuck, and love the hamburger, but my hamburger is a lot smaller than the 25-pounder. You're doing a team competition. I assume you do individual and team competition, but is it always you and almost like Man versus Food? You know that show where the guy's going up against the food challenge, or do you also compete against other competitive eaters, like, for example, the Joey Chestnuts of the world who do the hot dog, the Nathan's hot dog on the 4th of July? What exactly are you competing in? Individually, team, or all of the above?
Oh, yeah. No, that was kind of the thing that allowed me to kind of get to where I am today with everything. Is I've actually never really cared too much about the whole competitive eating side of things. Like, I've done a couple contests, but not too many, and I would never try to compete with Joey Chestnut. I think that if I really tried, I could do 40 hot dogs in 10 minutes, but I don't even want to try to get close to the 73 that Joey can do. That's absolutely crazy. Plus, I kind of do my own thing. I'm an independent. So if you do that contest, you have to sign a 3-year exclusive deal with MLE that you'll only do their events.
Oh, okay.
I've actually, just from the start, only really cared about food challenges. So I'm going for overall win number 1,000 tomorrow. That includes, actually, it was just 2 weeks ago that somebody asked this. I've never actually thought about how many solo wins and team wins. I've got a lot of social media, and of course that is attractive to all the other eaters and people wanting to grow their social media channels. We've got 1.4 million, almost 1.5 million watching on Facebook, and then we have 1.3 million on YouTube. So we get a lot of requests to collaborate and stuff like that. So I do a lot of team challenges whenever possible, but a massive majority is just solo challenges. And yeah, no, I wanted to make number 1,000 at Kooky Canuck because I've been friends with Sean a long time. This will be my 3rd food challenge there. I've done the one that was made famous on Man versus Food. I did that years ago. I think it was in like 19 minutes or something like that. The 7.5 pounder, the solo one. And then also one of the guys that'll be with me tomorrow, my friend Magic Mitch Dombrowski, he's been editing for me since 2013, but he'll be part of the team. Him and I did the 12-pound burger challenge that they have there too. So tomorrow's going to be the 4-person, pretty much double the size of the one that Mitch and I did, 25 pounds. So it's all going down at 3 p.m. And if anybody wants to watch, it will be live streamed on my Facebook page. Randy Santel is the same on social media, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, YouTube, all that stuff is Randy Santel, and you can go through my website too. But yeah, it will be Facebook live streamed, probably probably starting closer to about 3:30 p.m.
So this is going to be you're going for win number 1,000. How many losses?
And that's 1,000 unique challenge wins. I've done, I'd say maybe 20 to 30 challenges more than twice.
Oh, okay.
Or more than once. So the 1,000 is specific, unique wins. So I've lost 3 so far in 2021. I lost 6 last year in 2020, 12 in 2019, and then a handful before then. But yeah, I would say I've gotten like 35 to 40 losses.
That's a pretty good win percentage.
So the ones that you've lost, have you then like gone back and won those challenges, or?
I have done like 15 or 20 rematches, I think, and those videos are all on YouTube. I actually I don't like to lose. I hate losing, but I mean, some of the biggest, most viewed videos on our channel are losses. So, I mean, YouTube doesn't break the monetization down and give you lower money for losses. So, and then you get to go back and kind of to get the win a second time, and it just kind of feels good. But yeah, actually, like I said earlier, I'm pretty big. So I'm actually starting a dietetic internship. Believe it or not, I'm in the process of becoming a registered dietitian, and I'm going to retire from eating in like 2023, possibly 2024. Then I'll be converting all my social media over to helping people with nutrition and weight management.
That's amazing.
But, yes, I'm going to be losing probably about 100 pounds, I would say, while I'm doing my internship. And then I'll be a lean, mean fighting machine, and I'll be able to eat a lot more because the bigger eaters are usually more fit. I can't eat as much right now as I would be able to if I was 100 pounds lighter. After I get down there, I'm going to do what I'm going to call an ego tour. You can call it a rematch tour, but there's like 20 different food challenges that I want to rematch before I retire. And I'm going to just go all around the country. There's some around the world, too, and I'll just beat all those because I'll be thin and able to eat more.
What a professional change in what you do in life from a professional eater to a dietitian. That's crazy.
It is. That one of the things I learned very early on in my career is that there's a lot of YouTube channels and just social media in general that work real hard just to do one specific task with no understanding of what they're going to do after. I mean, there's so many YouTube channels with millions of subscribers that just don't get used. There's just nothing to them anymore because they exhausted all their energy, got burnt out, and didn't really have anything to switch to. So I have a construction management degree. You always learn through that to begin with the end in mind. And so I've been doing the food challenges for years now as basically the marketing scheme for what I'm going to be doing after. Once I'm a dietitian, I'll have a book coming out, a nutrition education system and program, and there's going to be a lot to it. So we'll lose a couple subscribers, of course, that just care about the food challenges, but we'll gain a lot more, and we'll have a massive platform to help a lot of people better understand kind of just the basics of nutrition. So, yeah, lots upcoming. I'm excited.
So how, when you're getting ready for like this challenge tomorrow, what is the preparation and like how do you kind of get ready for this? Do you go a long period what's the preparation?
Yeah, my preparation now, I've been doing this 11 years now, so my preparation is a little different now just because of how different everything is that I'm doing. Back when I started, I was working in construction. I was construction management during the week, and then I would just travel and do the food challenges on weekends. Thursdays, I would eat like 12, 13 pounds of watermelon, and then just drink a whole bunch of water or drink on top of that because it was lower in volume, but then it would really it was high in volume, but lower in calories, and it would just really expand my stomach, kind of max it out. So then I would be ready for the weekend. Now I'm doing so many challenges all the time that there's not really too much training involved. other than the one time before a big tour starts. Other than that, it's pretty much just the challenges I do are keeping my stomach expanded, stretched out, ready for the next one. So it's not really about training. It's more about drinking a lot of water, getting whatever exercise I can. I'm really into cycling and spinning and biking. I have a tour van that I travel in, and I carry a spin bike in it, so I'm able to get a lot of exercise. And it's more about just making sure you're empty and hungry and ready for when the challenge starts.
All right, so what is your biggest triumph in competitive eating? And if you have one, and I'm sure there is one, your most epic failure?
Ooh, let's see. It depends on how you want to explain epic. I mean, I've got one that I was super embarrassed about. That would be epic. Me that I need. Do what?
That would be epic.
Yes. Yeah, no, that was very early on in my career, and I learned the hard way that if you're doing a challenge where you might get sick, you want to have a trash can nearby. So I don't need to explain it too much, but I felt really bad for the people watching.
What was the challenge? Do you remember? What was it?
The thing is I do a lot of two-a-days, so I could have easily won, but I did a challenge earlier in the day that was a little bit bigger. It was actually in England. So I did like a what I thought was going to be like a 5-6 pound burrito. It ended up being like 7 or 8. And I won that during the day for lunch, but then I don't get sick and puke all my challenges up, so I kind of do them the legitimate way. But I was doing a challenge later that night at like 7 or 8 in Liverpool, England, and I just did not have enough room for it. And I had like 2 or 3 bites left. I was pushing. I was an idiot. I never asked for a trash can. And I had nowhere else to go with it other than the table in front of me. Oh. And no, that was embarrassing. But on a good note, I've done a couple challenges around 9 to 9.5 pounds. I've never completed a 10-pound challenge, but I've always been really happy with those. I mean, 9 pounds is a heck of a lot of food. It may not be if you're comparing me to Joey Chestnut, but I mean, there's only very few Joey Chestnut level people in the world.
So with this thing tomorrow, when there's 4 of you, do you divide it evenly, or do you all just start eating, and if you have to carry somebody else's weight a little bit, you do so?
Yeah, tomorrow's going to be really cool. So I've been doing this 11 years now. I wanted to have a lot of my longtime friends at the table with me. There's going to be like 44 years of food challenge experience between the 4 of us. So I've been doing it the second to longest time. There's a guy named Natter. He goes by Freak Eating on social media. He will be, he's been doing it the longest. He kind of used to do a lot of food challenges in a row, which kind of inspired me and made me think that I could do it too. So I'm really happy he came in from California. And then Ramsey does a lot of challenges too. I think he's got like 300 or 400 wins. He's done a lot of big tours too. And then my friend Magic Mitch will be with us too. But no, we're pretty much going to split it up into fourths. But Ramsey's got a few digestive things where he can't have too many pounds of meat. So I'm probably going to take more. This sounds terrible. I'm going to take some of his meat and then give him some of my bread.
Come on, it's a family show, Randy. Come on.
Okay.
All right, so if I have this correct, you got 30 minutes to do it, but the record is 23:13. Is that correct?
I actually think it's an hour.
It is an hour.
I think it's an hour.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah,
okay, but the record is still
23:13,
23:13, right?
Yes. Yeah.
All right.
There was 4 graders on that team, but there's 2 that were just exceptional. So they're both faster and with bigger capacities than all of us that will be at the table. So we will see what happens, but I think we are going to try to beat that. But we've got some friends from Spain that have actually beaten the challenge too. I know we're going to try to beat their time. We'll just have to see about beating the record.
And again, they say 3, but you say more like 3:30. But get down to the Kooky Canuck at the downtown location and watch Randy and his buddies take on the Cucamonga Challenge. That's the 25-pound burger. I'm sure you guys will give it a great run, and hopefully you will accomplish your feat and get to 1,000 career wins. I want to leave you with this question. Is there any food that you will not do a challenge for? Is there any food that you just can't stand that you will not eat?
Well, that's a quick answer. But first of all, if you get there at 3 tomorrow, you're probably better off watching on Facebook. We've got almost 3 million people following. So I know there's probably going to be a few people getting there pretty early. Kooky Canuck's a big spot, but it's probably going to fill up definitely by 2:30. But I would say the thing that I won't eat, I have no desire to ever try out a Carolina Reaper pepper. Anything hotter than ghost peppers is just way too hot for me. I mean, I can do it, but the aftermath and everything along with it, I've watched videos of other people eating them. I don't need to try it myself.
He is
I don't
professional
understand
eater.
the people that do that stuff.
Yeah, that's nuts. He's professional eater Randy Santel. You can follow him on Twitter at Randy Santel. And again, he'll be in Memphis tomorrow at the Kooky Canuck downtown for a huge challenge, the 25-pound Humunga Cucamonga Burger Challenge. We wish you nothing but the best, Randy. Thank you so much for joining us.
Hey, thank you. I appreciate all the time you guys gave me.
Take care. Good luck.
Yeah. That's hey, good on him. Good on them for finding something you're good at and making a good life out of it. That's cool stuff. Did want to mention the Ole Miss baseball game this afternoon. They have moved it because Tennessee did run rule Alabama. So that game
11-0
over. So at 12:30 now, Ole Miss will be coming on the air on 96.1. They've moved up the pregame a half hour because of the earlier start for the game. So at 12:30 on 96.1, we'll be switching to Ole Miss baseball and continuing here with the program on 98.5 and 560 AM. But Ole Miss coming up at 12:30 on 96.1.
Well, we've all had that dream, and I'm not talking about accomplishing the 25-pound Humunga Cucamonga Challenge. We've all had that dream, bottom of the ninth, bases loaded. You're up at the plate. Well, on FanDuel Sportsbook, you get more than one shot to swing for the fences because FanDuel is letting you place your first bet risk-free. That's right. New users get up to $1,000 back in site credit if your first bet doesn't win. There is a reason FanDuel Sportsbook is America's #1 sportsbook. In fact, there's more than one reason. The app is simple to use. They've got great odds on all different betting markets, unique fun bet types like same-game parlay, and always on promotions to let you get more action out of every game day. When you win, FanDuel will pay your winnings in as little as 24 hours. All you have to do is download the FanDuel Sportsbook app and sign up with promo code GASMAN to get in on the action. That's FanDuel Sportsbook, promo code GASMAN, so they know I sent you. You got to be 21 or over and present in Tennessee. First online real money wager only for risk-free bet. Refund issued as non-withdrawable site credit that expires in 7 days. Restrictions apply. See sportsbook.fanduel.com for details. If you have a gambling problem, you can call Tennessee Redline at 1-800-889-9789. If you'd like to play 10 in a row, the game show that has swept the nation, all you have to do is jump on the First Bank phone lines right now. They are wide open, 360-8255, 360-8255. 10 in a row is next. This is Middays on Real Sports Talk, Sports 56, 96.1, and 98.5.
Listen online anywhere, anytime at sports56whbq.com.
I want to do some bragging rights. Hey, I was just the other day overhearing a conversation with Big Mike, the manager of DeSoto Auto Sales. They've got people buying cars all over the country. North Carolina, South Carolina, Georgia, Alabama, Arkansas, Texas. People from all over the country buy cars at DeSoto Auto Sales in Olive Branch, Mississippi. Why? DeSoto Auto Sales has the most stringent car inspection in America. They get it right the first time. Quality and low mileage, factory warranty on most vehicles. My favorite part is the people who work there. Big Mike, all the employees are professional, friendly, and go that extra mile. Expect as you walk in the door, you're treated like family. DeSoto Auto Sales understands your time matters. We can help you find your dream car and get all the paperwork finished in less than an hour. Come see us at DeSoto Auto Sales and be part of our family. Have a great buying experience every time. 662-890-7184.
Moving is stressful, but Black Tie Moving can take the worry out of the process. Whether you're moving across town or across country, moving your home or your office, your personal moving concierge from Black Tie Moving will work with you to design a plan that perfectly fits your budget and needs. And they're available 24/7 to answer any questions you have. Give Black Tie Moving a call at 901-316-6196 or go to blacktiemoving.com/Memphis to get your personal, no-obligation quote from the moving experts at Black Tie Moving.
The summer of fun is here now at Mario's Pools.
Hi, everybody. This is Dave Woloshin from Mario's Pools on Exeter Road. That beautiful pool, well, it just doesn't happen. So call Mario, and his team will be right there to guide you every step of the way if you want to do it yourself, or they'll do it for you. If you need a replacement pool liner, Mario has the best price against all the major competitors, and by the way, the best selection. Call Mario's Pools, easy, 552-3399. That's 552-3399, or just walk in, so easy, in Germantown on Exeter Road. The great thing about Mario is he always takes that extra step. He gets to know you and your pool. He'll do everything he can to make it perfect. Mario's has an A rating with the Better Business Bureau. You can check out the reviews on Facebook. Don't be a slave to your pool. Call Mario Pools today, 552-3399.
Golf enthusiasts, Cypress View Golf and Recreation has a Memorial Day special just for you. Friday through Monday. Green fees will be just $35 a day, down from $53. This includes the green fee and card. And if you say you heard about this Memorial Day special on Sports 56, you'll get a free bucket of range balls. Then mark your calendar for the two-person golf scramble June 12th and 13th. Shotgun start at 1 p.m., steak dinner at 6, and live band at 7. $300 per team entry fee, or just $240 if you bring your own cart. New and exciting Cypress View Golf and Recreation is just over the Mississippi River in Marion, Arkansas, with a new golf pub with tons of new food items for breakfast and lunch. And take advantage of Cypress View Golf and Recreation's new membership for unlimited golf 7 days a week, only $199 plus tax. Call ProMart today, 870-739-6305 at Cypress View Golf and Recreation.
Now, back to Sports 56 Middays. Here once again are Greg Gaston and Eli Savoy.
Cold wet December day, we touched the ground in JFK. Snow was melting on the ground. Yes, I heard the sound of an angel.
Welcome back, everyone. 12:27 the time. Final hour for us today here on Sports 56 Middays. We got 10 in a row in just a moment. Then we'll get back into the Grizzlies and Jazz conversation, give you our final thoughts before the huge game tomorrow night. And then another one on Monday. Once again, Memorial Day on Monday, but we will have all our shows right here, the usual lineup on Sports 56. But right now it's time for 10 in a row.
Not 5, not 6, not 7, not 8, not 9, but 10 in a row.
It's the game show that has swept the nation. It's 10 in a row. It's a Friday staple here on Middays. All you need to do is jump on the phone lines right now at 360-8255. Before I give you the question, Eli, what are they playing for today?
Today's winner, let's go with $25 in piggy bucks from Central Barbecue. And we'll go $50 to 117 Prime downtown. We actually was went to a party at 117 Prime Saturday night, as a matter of fact.
How was it?
It was awesome. Awesome. Good stuff. Great. They had some little appetizers and stuff. Great stuff there at 117 Prime. So $25 Central Barbecue, $50 to 117 Prime.
Yeah, we had a great dinner at 117 Prime before the pandemic hit. Man, it's a really, really nice place if you haven't been there. And, of course, Central Barbecue is a Memphis staple. Here's the question. Players who have been the leading scorer in the playoffs one or more times. So in a particular year, in the entire playoffs, if this player has led everyone in scoring, it's a yes. If not, it's a no.
We're talking total points or average?
Total points. The total points in 1 year's playoffs. So obviously it's players whose teams have gone pretty far to be able to play that many games. But all they have had to do is lead the playoffs one time, 1 year, and it's a yes. If not, it's a no. It's not easy. Some of these will be a little bit surprising, but think about it. Give it a shot. Pick up a phone. Doesn't cost you anything. 360-8255. Players who have been the leading scorer in the playoffs one or more times. That's not for their team. It's for the entire playoffs of all the players that play in the postseason in that particular year. And, again, it's total points.
360-8255, 360-8255, the First Bank phone line to play 10 in a row. Again, $25 to Central Barbecue, $50 to 117 Prime, going to the winner of 10 in a row today. Joe will lead us off. Hey, Joe.
Can you clarify that one more time?
Sure.
Total points
Yes.
or it's year by year?
No, okay. So if a players who have been the leading scorer in the playoffs one or more times. So in a particular, let's say John Moran ended up having the most points in the playoffs this year, it would be a yes. He would lead the playoffs in points. It's total points.
In 1 year.
In 1 year.
And so quantity most years. Okay.
Yeah, we're not talking about all time. All we're talking about is if a particular player led the playoffs in scoring, total points in 1 year, one season. Okay? And some have done it some have done it multiple times. Yeah, it's not easy, but I hope you guys understand what I'm saying here. Players who have been the leading scorer in the playoffs one or more times. Kawhi Leonard.
Yes.
Charles Barkley.
No.
Damian Lillard.
No.
360-8255. Lillard last season in the shortened, or not the shortened season, but it was shortened. It was the bubble where he led the entire playoffs in scoring.
360-8255, 360-8255, the First Bank phone line to play 10 in a row. Again, playing for $25 to Central Barbecue and $50 to 117 Prime. Chris is next up. Hey, Chris.
Hi, Chris.
Hey.
Here we go. Anthony Davis.
Yes.
Scottie Pippen.
No.
LeBron James.
Yes.
Steph Curry.
Yes.
360-8255. That's the one I told Eli even before we came on the air. That's the one that's going to get people. 360-8255. We got wide open phone lines here. First Bank phone lines. It is it's sort of tough, but you understand it now, I believe. Players who have been the leading scorer in the playoffs one or more times.
So Anthony Davis is a yes?
Anthony Davis is a yes.
Wow. When did he lead?
I don't know. I go back in time here.
That's because if it wasn't last year, I don't know. I mean, they never won anything when he was in New Orleans. You sure about that?
With Anthony Davis?
Yeah.
I got to go back and double check now.
If Lillard was the leader last year, I just don't know what year Davis could have possibly led.
All right.
360-8255. You want to take your shot. 360-8255. This is a difficult one. I'll say that. This is a difficult one. But you got $75 worth of food and drinks that you can win if you can't get 10 in a row correct. $25 from Central Barbecue, $50 from 117 Prime. All you got to do is pick up that phone and call in at 360-8255.
Keep talking. I'm looking this up. Where is this?
We've got a couple of people getting on the line, but we still have a couple of open lines remaining. So you can take your shot at 10 in a row again, win $75 worth of food and drinks. As Greg clarifies whether he is he's got the correct answers or not. I just look at it because Anthony Davis, there's no way he led in New Orleans. They never advanced really.
No, I mean you make a good point.
So if he
could I have written
I
that
would
one
have thought
down
he
wrong?
led last year maybe,
Could
but
have.
then
No, it's
Damian
Lillard.
would be
No, it has it as Lillard. I got to find this darn thing now. Gabe, Google this too. Maybe you'll get something before I do. I'm. Let's see where I can find this thing. Hang on. NBA playoff.
I would have actually guessed that last year would have been Anthony Davis, but not Lillard. Because how far did Portland go last year? They only won. Did they even win the first round series last year?
No, they played the Lakers.
Yeah, there's no way Lillard led the playoffs in scoring last year in one round.
Hang on. Gosh, bless it. I can't even find it. I'll tell you what. Hang on. Let's take a timeout right now. Hold on. Nobody drop off. Joe, Greg, Chris, Andre, hang on there. We'll take a break. We'll come back.
Damian Lillard is leading this year. He is leading currently.
That's what it
Anthony
is.
Davis led last year.
Okay, that's what it is.
If you're including this year, that Damian Lillard currently is leading.
Okay, that's exactly what it is. That's it. All right, we don't have to take a break. We're going to continue. All right, so you got it?
Yes,
Everybody
Anthony
got
Davis did lead
Anthony
last year.
Davis did lead.
Lillard, that's a little tricky.
I know, is leading this year. Okay, I knew I had the list right, and I wrote it down right. I thought I wrote it down correctly. All right, so we are back to list one. Who's next?
Next up is Greg. Hey, Greg.
Hey, Greg.
Hey, guys.
All right, Kawhi Leonard.
Yes.
Charles Barkley.
No.
Damian Lillard.
Yes.
Paul Pierce.
Yes.
360-8255. Next up.
Next up is Chris. Hey, Chris.
Hi, Chris.
Hey.
Anthony Davis.
Yes.
Scottie Pippen.
No.
LeBron James.
Yes.
Steph Curry.
No.
Klay Thompson.
Yes.
Tony Parker.
No, I mean, we need an answer. I'm sorry. I can't give you all day to answer.
Next.
Andre is next. Hey, Andre.
Drag,
Hey,
what's up?
going on?
Kawhi Leonard.
up?
Not too much. Kawhi Leonard.
Yes.
Charles
Yes.
Barkley.
No.
Damian Lillard.
Yes.
Paul Pierce.
No.
Kobe Bryant.
Yes.
Dirk Nowitzki.
Yes.
Kevin Durant.
No.
Next.
360-8255, 360-8255 to play 10 in a row. $25 to Central Barbecue, $50 for 117 Prime. Going to the winner today. We do have a couple of open lines once again, so you can get back in line, 360-8255. John is next up. Hey, John.
Hello, John.
What's going on?
Anthony Davis.
Yes.
Scottie Pippen.
No.
LeBron James.
Yes.
Steph Curry.
No.
Klay Thompson.
Yes.
Tony Parker.
No.
Allen Iverson.
No.
360-8255. Again, players who have been the leading scorer in the playoffs one or more times.
All right. Next up is KC.
Hey, KC.
Hey, what's up?
Kawhi Leonard.
Yes.
Charles Barkley.
No.
Damian Lillard.
Yes.
Paul Pierce.
No.
Kobe Bryant.
Yes.
Dirk Nowitzki.
Yes.
Kevin Durant.
Yes.
Dwayne Wade.
Yes.
James Worthy.
No.
Next.
Next is Josh. Hey, Josh.
Hey, guys. How's it going?
Good, Josh. Anthony Davis.
Yes.
Scottie Pippen.
No.
LeBron James.
Yes.
Steph Curry.
No.
Klay Thompson.
Yes.
Tony Parker.
No.
Allen Iverson.
Yes.
Michael Jordan.
Yes.
Latrell Sprewell.
Choke you. No.
Next. I knew that's the one. That one and the Steph Curry one are the ones that just like mind-boggling. Chokey.
He choked. He choked on that one. Jake is next. Hey, Jake.
Good afternoon, guys.
Hey, Jake. Kawhi Leonard.
Yes.
Charles Barkley.
No.
Damian Lillard.
Yes.
Paul Pierce.
Pierce. No.
Kobe Bryant.
Yes.
Dirk Nowitzki.
Yes.
Kevin Durant.
Yes.
Dwayne Wade.
Yes.
James Worthy.
Worthy. I'd say yes.
Larry Bird.
Oh, gosh. He went 7 many times. I'd say yes.
That is correct. Good job. There's a winner.
Congratulations, Jake. You are a winner. You got $25 from Central Barbecue and $50 from 117 Prime coming your way. Hold on. And Sean is on hold. I'll give Sean a shot.
All
on
right.
a second chance here.
Sean, you ready?
Yeah.
Eli's not normally this nice, so let's see. Make it count. Anthony Davis.
Yes.
Scottie Pippen.
No.
LeBron James.
Yes.
Steph Curry.
No.
Klay Thompson.
Yes.
Tony Parker.
Yes.
There you go. That's 10 in a row. Sorry for the confusion there, but I knew I had the right names. It's just that obviously Lillard is the current one this year. Davis was last year in the bubble. So there you go. That's 10 in a row. Thanks for participating. We appreciate that.
Folks, if you are moving anytime soon or anytime in the future, and whether it's across town or maybe across country, you want to take the stress out of the move? Well, call the folks at Black Tie Moving, and they will take care of it for you. They will first sit down with you to come up with a plan that fits your budget and your needs. If you need them to do everything for you, well, they'll do everything for you. If you need them to just, all you really want them to do is basically move your stuff, you'll pack it, unpack it, all that stuff, well, they'll take care of you. You're not going to pay for things that you're not needing. And once you get that plan set up, you get that no obligation quote from them to let you know exactly how much it's going to be. You get your own moving concierge. It's available to you 24/7 to answer any questions that you've got. You can give them a call at 901-316-6196. Or you can go to the website at blacktiemoving.com/Memphis. You can get the quote right there online. You can see all of the different 5-star reviews that they've got. They've got an A+ rating with the Better Business Bureau. They are the best. So whether you're moving your home, whether you're moving your office, again, cross town, cross country, whatever it is, the folks at Black Tie Moving can certainly help you and take all of that worry out of the process. Again, give them a call, 901-316-6196, or go to blacktiemoving.com/Memphis.
When we come back, our final segment of the week, we'll get back into the Grizzlies and the Jazz, and the Grizzlies hosting these two games, what it means now to be back in the playoffs and hosting games here at FedEx Forum. If you want to get in a quick text on the Grizzlies, you certainly can on the First Bank text line at 901-360-8255. You're listening to Sports 56 Middays on Real Sports Talk, Sports 56, 96.1 and 98.5 FM.
Do you know who I am?
Who are you? I'm Superfly TNT.
Johnny Radio.
Where do you want to be? 1 to 3? Right here with me. Sports 56, 98.5, 96.1 FM, Monday through Friday. This is Sports 56 Happy Hour, your good buddy Johnny Radio.
Gossett Kia on Covington Pike is celebrating Memorial Day all month long, and we can put you in a new Kia for less than $5 a day. 2021 Kia Forte, $139 a month. 2021 Kia Soul, $179 a month. And 2021 Kia K5, built in America, $199 a month. All 36-month leases, only $3,049 to its signing. Plus, peace of mind you can trust with Kia's 10-year, 100,000-mile powertrain limited warranty. Forte, $139 a month lease. Soul, $179 a month lease. K5, $199 a month lease. So hurry to Gossett Kia, 1900 Covington Pike, online, KiaCovingtonPike.com. Ask for Bobby J. He'll put you in a new Kia today.
If you want it, we got it at Gossett Motor Cars.
0 security deposit, $650 acquisition fee, 10,000 miles per year, 20 cents excess mileage. Forte ME358110, MSRP $20,590. Sold M7776411, MSRP $21,960. K5 MG005197, MSRP $26,170. Includes all manufacturer rebates and incentives. PF 695 excludes tax title and license with approved credit. Warranty is a limited powertrain warranty. See dealer for complete details. Offer valid through 5/31/2021. Dealer stock only.
I saved big money with the Progressive Home and Auto Bundle, so I finally bought that new set of golf clubs. Watch out, Fairway. Here I come.
This is not a real testimonial. Sure, customers can save big with Progressive, but your other expenses won't just disappear. Are those clubs going to help you when the hot water heater dies? Also, it sounds like your money is better spent on golf lessons.
Time to go shoot the course record.
No, but maybe time for a reality check. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates.
Attention foodies, there's a great new place to eat in a great restored building. South Hall Cafe is now open for breakfast, brunch, and lunch in the former Tobacco Corner. Chef Jesus Ramon is creating classics from scratch with a twist. Enjoy all your favorites, including the best cheese grits in the South, a full bar, an in-house pastry chef, catering, online ordering for curbside or delivery, and a covered patio with live music on the weekends. We're open 7 a.m. to 2 p.m. weekdays and 7 a.m. to 3 p.m. on weekends. South Hall Cafe, corner of Poplar and Mendenhall.
Summer means longer days and sometimes longer weekends. Make the most of yours with Memorial Day savings now at the Home Depot. In-store, online, store-wide. Get grilling and saving with a 5-burner Next Grill for only $199. Regularly $249. Save on everything from mulch to mowers. Ready, set, summer. Memorial Day savings. Here now, only at the Home Depot. How doers get more done while supplies last.
Nestled in the heart of East Memphis, located corner of Park and Cherry, is a beautiful residential neighborhood. I'm here at Town Village Audubon Park interviewing a new resident, Carolyn. Share with us why you chose Town Village.
Well, if your parents or special friends need to make that big move, let me share with you my experience. It was tough for me to leave home, but then I discovered Town Village. I would like to highly recommend Town Village to you and your loved ones. After looking at all the amenities and meeting all the people and staff, I was hooked. From restaurant, bistro, 3 meals per day, housekeeping, transportation, security, health care, physical therapy, exercise room, and even a heated pool and spa. Come see us and make your new home at Town Village.
Visit us and call Daniel at Town Village Audubon Park at 901-374-7342. There's no place like home, Town Village.
Now, back to Sports 56 Middays. Here once again are Greg Gaston and Eli Savoy.
Elimination game for the Memphis Tigers baseball team at the AAC tournament in Clearwater, and they already trail East Carolina. It's 2-0 Pirates as they play the top of the third inning. Memphis needs to win to stay alive in the tournament.
And Ole Miss baseball is over on 96.1 FM. They're going to do first pitch at 12:55. That is the scheduled first pitch. Pregame underway right now over on 96.1. We got a text message on the First Bank text line. Somebody says, Indy 500 Sunday morning. Fastest field ever. Woohoo. I'll be all over that one. I got to be honest. I don't even think about the Indy 500 anymore. Like, it is so far off my radar. And as a kid, I actually got excited about watching the Indy 500.
I like the Indy 500. I wasn't even thinking about it either. But again, Memorial Day weekend. I think is it Scott Dixon that's on the pole?
If you had asked me, I wouldn't even have. I didn't think about it. Obviously, it's Memorial Day weekend, but I've not seen anything about the Indy 500.
Yeah, I think Dixon has the pole, and that guy's been pretty dominant. But I think the cool thing is when you win, obviously you kiss the bricks, but you get the milk, and you get your choice of what milk you want. If you want 2%, if you want almond milk, if you want chocolate milk, it's your choice. I never knew that. I thought they gave you the old regular.
I would have to do chocolate milk because I can't drink any other milk.
That hot old day, just pull out that cold chocolate milk, man. That's good. That's some good stuff.
As long as it's chocolate, I can do it. And the regular old white milk, nope.
Really? You don't like regular milk?
No.
Or 2% or skim milk or any of that stuff?
No.
Wait, did I just hear you correctly? Drink a glass of cold chocolate milk on a hot day? Did you say that?
I'm saying if you won the Indy 500.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, if you won the Indy 500, that's.
I say milk on a hot day is usually not the best
milk
choice
was
in general.
A bad choice.
Milk is never a good choice, really, quite frankly. Other than a bowl of cereal, I don't see the reasons for milk.
No, sometimes when you're having a cookie or something, ice cold glass of milk, nothing wrong with that, I don't think. But chocolate milk's good too, really good. Chris Paul, after last night's loss, the Suns lost to the Lakers. And I don't know, I'm looking at the tweet from Bleacher Report, and he's quoted as saying, 11 in a row, that's tough. Well, what he's referring to is that's now 11 straight playoff games that he's lost that were officiated by Scott Foster. Now, I don't know if I didn't hear the presser. I'm sure these are all on Zoom anyway, but either way, I didn't hear if he had actually literally said Scott Foster's name. But it's amazing how many times that's brought up, Eli, with a particular game or a particular player about who's officiating. It always comes up with the NBA as to, we got a 10-game losing streak now when this guy officiates. We weren't talking about that with the Grizzlies as well earlier this year. And speaking of the Grizzlies, the Jazz and the Grizz tomorrow night, 8:30 at FedEx Forum. Who you got?
I actually think the Grizzlies are going to win tomorrow night.
I think they're going to win as well, and I don't know if that's just me being a homer, but I think if they were to make this a series, and right now it is a series, it's 1-1, but if they are to make a series out of this thing, obviously they have to split at minimum here in Memphis. You can't go down 3-1 and go back to Salt Lake City. The series is over if you lose both. But if you win tomorrow night, you put all the pressure on the Jazz to win on Monday. If not, the Grizzlies are up 3-1, and even though if it went 7, obviously they would have Game 7 at home, the Jazz, the Grizzlies could come back home in Game 6 and win it and advance. And I know it's not going to be easy. Jazz looked really good in Game 2 with the return of Donovan Mitchell, the way they shot the three, the high pick and roll, and all that good stuff. And Ja went off, and they still lost by double digits. But I just think tomorrow night the crowd is going to be great. I think the atmosphere is going to be terrific. Everybody's been waiting for a long time for this pre-pandemic. You got to go back to 2017 for the last time the Grizzlies were in the postseason. I don't think they're done. You know what's interesting? I was going to play this as a 6-game series. You know, you could pick how long you think the series was going to go. And I thought, I think the Grizzlies can win 2 games in this series. They win tomorrow night and do a better job in guarding the perimeter and the pick and roll, and other players contribute and help Ja out. Dylan obviously was great in Game 1, but then fouls hurt him in Game 2. He still scored 23. But then I would think, wow, they really can win the series. I mean, I feel there's a chance right now. But if they win tomorrow night and look good in winning, I think there's a really good chance they can win the series. And
I think the series is going to go 7 games. I think it's going to go to a Game 7.
Yeah, Barkley says he thinks it's going 6 or 7. I think it could it could be deep. It could go the distance. But I think tomorrow night is really important because you're back at home. You're expected, even though you're an 8 seed versus a 1, you're expected to at least get one of them at home, I would imagine. And I think they're going to play off the atmosphere because certainly the Jazz played off that Game 2 atmosphere once they got done. And I think more they played off of Donovan Mitchell returning. But the Grizzlies and John Morant, there's no question, whether it be opponents booing and a hostile environment or having the home court and all the people behind you, he seems to be one that really plays off that energy. Brooks seems to be another one that plays off that energy. And I think that energy is going to be great tomorrow night. I just hope that Jaren Jackson Jr. can improve defensively. He got a little better offensively. And if they get into a rut again with those backups, I hope Taylor Jenkins is not hesitant to bring in Brandon Clark if he has to. And really, seriously, if he has to bring in for size to guard Donovan Mitchell, Justice Winslow for a few minutes, do it. Do whatever it takes to win. And I'm sure that's his mindset.
I know I'm excited. It'll be my first Grizzlies game since, I don't know, I guess whatever. I don't remember. I don't know the last game I went to last season. But it's been a while since I've been to a Grizzlies game. So I'm looking forward to it. That is for sure. Time now for one final thing.
Before Greg and Eli get out of here for the day, they each have one final thing they think you should know to make it through the rest of your day. So here are Greg and Eli with one final thing.
So we don't talk a lot about tennis on this show. From time to time we do. But this will be the second straight day that my one final thing topic is tennis, and it's the same subject. It's, once again, Naomi Osaka. So the Women's Tennis Association, the WTA, because I was wondering how they would react to what she said yesterday, said it would welcome dialogue with the world's number 2 ranked player, Naomi Osaka, over her decision to boycott news conferences at this year's French Open. I respect that. Dialogue. Talk about it. They didn't come out and say, we support her 100% or no, we're against her. They want to have dialogue. Okay, that's fine. Osaka, who said the nature of questions can impact the player's mental well-being. You were wondering about what she meant specifically? She said the nature of questions can impact the player's mental well-being, has received some support from several athletes, but was slammed by the French Tennis Federation for her stance. Some of her rivals also questioned her decision ahead of the start of the French Open, with 2019 champion Ashley Barty saying news conferences are part of the job. Does that give her an advantage if she doesn't go to news conferences or doesn't have to go to news conferences while other players have to? When they want to kick back and they want to relax a little bit, they want to get some treatment, some work done on them, and they have to fulfill their obligations. I don't think this is right. But again, I do agree with the WTA. They want to sit down and have dialogue with her. What will she tell them? That'll be interesting.
So Pro Football Focus has released their college football rankings for the coming season based on their metrics and simulations. No surprise, Alabama is the number one team. They have Alabama with a 23% chance of winning the national championship. Clemson is number two with a 17% chance of winning the national championship. Then Ohio State, Georgia, and Oklahoma round out their top five. The Cincinnati, they've got it number 12 right now. I wonder where Cincinnati will be in the actual polls to start the season. And the Memphis Tigers, rather, they are at number 36 in Pro Football Focus's preseason rankings. That would put them third in the American behind Cincinnati and UCF. UCF is 2 spots ahead of them. Ole Miss is number 40, 4 spots behind the Tigers. Tennessee is at number 45 in theirs. Mississippi State is down at 55. And Arkansas is at 53. 2 spots ahead of Mississippi State. This is based on returning player grades, and they simulate the season and all that stuff. But so they got the Tigers ahead of Ole Miss, which is a little surprising with some of the talent Ole Miss has coming back.
And the Tigers ahead, as you said, of Mississippi State, and they will meet week 3 at Liberty Bowl Stadium. It's interesting with Cincinnati. There is a lot of expectations on Desmond Ridder. Even for the next level, the NFL, I don't see it at the moment. I don't see that guy being that type of quarterback, but maybe I'm wrong. As far as your question about Cincinnati, where do you put him? They'll be right around that 12 to 17, 18 range, I would think. Some voters won't want to vote him too high because some of those teams ahead of them lose and they jump up there. There's always that controversy right now while we only have 4 teams in the playoffs. But it's interesting, the first 5 you rattled off, same 5. It's the same teams every single year. Our big thanks to Drew Hill, Clay Helton, USC football coach. They're expected to have a good year in the Pac-12. And professional eater Randy Santel. Good luck tomorrow with the 25-pound Humunga Cucamonga Burger Challenge at Kookie Canuck. Stay tuned. Sports 56 Happy Hour with Johnny Radio is coming up next. And again, folks, we're back on Monday. I know it's Memorial Day, but we will have new shows on Monday. For Eli Savoy, for Gabe Kuhn, Josh Crawford, I'm Greg Gaston. Have a great weekend, everybody.
Well,